Sometimes the world just needs a hero to help cut through all the noise.
Well, now you have two.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to yet another episode of Your Heroes of Noise. I'm one half of this dynamic duo. My name is Steve.
Hello, everyone. It is episode 169, and believe it or not, we're back. We're live, Steve. We're live. What do you think about that, buddy? I live.
Man, Dan on the mend. Dan on the mend.
I didn't think it was a close one. I didn't think I was going to make it, but I'm happy.
Holy cow.
Yeah, I'm happy to be back. So, guys, I know we've been gone for like, what was it? I guess it would be 5 out of 7 weeks, something like that. But here we are again. Welcome to the show. Let's have some fun, Steve. Let's talk to these people. They've missed us, I think.
Absolutely. There's been a lot going on with you, Dan. A lot going on with you.
Yeah.
Not so much me.
That's not true. You always got stuff going on, though. I mean, you got your routines.
Yeah, but I didn't take a wonderful young person to college, though.
Oh, yeah, you did. What are you talking about?
I did. But that was during the show. We were on the show when I did that. You've been
true.
gone.
Yeah, that's true. And I did it while I was sick, too.
I don't know how when I was sick, I was not getting up off the couch, dude.
You know, okay, here's the weird thing is that, you know, like in the big picture, like we really didn't move a lot of stuff. It was like my car was full, and then my brother-in-law followed us with her bike because I never got the trailer hitch, and I wasn't about to like just put that shit on the top of my car. You know what I mean?
Forgot about that trailer hitch.
Yeah, that whole trailer hitch thing. I'm still got PTSD.
Oh my God.
But there really wasn't a lot of stuff. The problem was that what happened was I had gotten a full-blown flu.
Oosh.
Yeah, so like listen to you doing your Muay Thai while you're talking to me right now. Now it's just in your whole like vernacular.
Lexicon, yeah.
Your lexicon.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I mean, oof is what I meant.
Oosha.
Dude, you had the flu?
Yeah, everyone got sick. What it is that my niece was over and she brought those 7th grade germs.
Oh, it's over, bro.
Remember, like, because you kind of have to get used to 7th grade germs. When you have a kid that's in the 7th grade, you get used to it.
Oh, for sure. Dude, when you remember how often your little kids used to get you sick? And then they'd get over it real quick.
Yeah,
and then
that's
you're like,
they're all busy touching each other's snot at school.
Exactly.
And stuff. 7th grade, they're just still squirrely too, but it's a concentrated strain. You know what I'm saying?
Ugh, yes.
So
yes, dude.
She got sick, and then she got Gail sick, and got Ben sick, and then I was the last one to get it. Sarah kind of got it, but thankfully she didn't get it at all because it would have been like terrible timing. So I'm thinking, okay, I'm just going to have a cough and kind of cold symptoms and stuff, and I'll get the whole COVID test just to do my thing, you know?
Sure, for sure.
So 2 COVID tests later, and I did not have it, but dude, okay, remember when I told you I got back from Chicago and I was pretty certain I had COVID?
Oh, for sure, dude.
Still the case, right? Like I really do think that was the case just because of the way the breathing thing went, but maybe not now because I was way sicker this time than I was then, and I still had the breathing issues.
Jeez, dude.
And I had not to be gross, but I mean, I had water coming out both ends. I lost 15 pounds of water weight.
Holy crap, dude.
I did. It was good. I needed to lose a little bit of weight, but it tends to come back on when you're just like eating normally again.
Jeez, you were sick.
I'm still down on weight, but I lost 15 pounds of water weight within like 7 days. It was crazy. That's not an exaggeration.
Sick, dude. You were sick.
I would wake up and because it was like I wasn't sure at some points whether or not I had COVID or not. And it's kind of dumb because we both live in the same house and everything. But it's like, Gail, maybe you should sleep on the. I'll sleep on the couch while you're sick, and then she slept on the couch while I was sick because I was like all kinds of sick, way worse than she was. But I would wake up, dude, and like like when a body dies and they do the chalk line.
Oh yeah,
it was just like that, but of sweat.
Oh my God, dude.
It was gross, man. Gross. And I couldn't keep anything down. All I had was like soups and broths and stuff like that. Yeah, so this goes on for a week, well over a week, and then it lasts into when we got to take Sarah to Davis. And like I said, there really wasn't that much stuff to do, but it was like easy stuff was super hard. Like taking a box from a very accessible box that I could just carry, a little cardboard box full of like clothes or something like that.
Yeah.
From the car, which was not far away, to the dorm room. And I'm like fucking exhausted, like wiped the fuck out. We had to stay we didn't have to, but we stayed in Sacramento at a really cool place called the Kimpton Sawyer Hotel. It's like,
I've never heard of that.
Well, where they have the Golden One Arena.
Oh yeah.
It's like right across the street from there. So it's in the downtown area. Super dope hotel. So it was nice that I was comfortable and it was dope. We had room service and stuff like that. But like when we'd go back, I would like melt into the bed and just lay there.
Jeez, dude.
Yeah, it was bad. But enough about me, you know.
I mean, how is she doing?
She's doing great. She's having a little bit of an adjustment period right now because I guess it's like this. The way that she's always been, she's always pushed very hard. If she wants something, she's going to push herself very hard until she gets this thing, right? But I think she has this little bit of an insecure, and I think this will pass, but she has this insecure defense mechanism, is how I'm going to call it, where once she gets to said desired thing, she tends to kind of pick it apart and finds the negatives versus the positives. In this case, it's she would kill me if she knew I was talking about this, but she's not going to listen. She goes, okay, so I guess basically what I'm saying is, this is how I'm taking it. Like her crew from like high school, I think was just like primarily white. It wasn't necessarily intended that way. It was just the kids in band that she hung out with.
Yeah, that's, right? Yeah.
You know, there's a few Mexican kids I can think of, but I mean, for the most part, very similar to how I was in high school. I think there's just the unit is primarily white.
Yes.
So now she's moved on to Davis, where it's a very diverse school. And packs tend to stick together. And what I mean by that, I think you'll understand when I say this, you know, it's not really like a racial thing. I mean, I guess it kind of is, but you'll know what I mean when I say this. You know, like legit Asian people will all stay together in groups most of the time. They tend to like chill like that. And the same thing with like, you know, Spanish speaking Mexicans and things like that. They tend to stay, you know, with their groups, you know, for the most part. Well, she kind of falls into this thing where she's half Mexican, half white, but I think she's just kind of always, much to my dismay, has always kind of more identified with the white side. I don't think she's really embraced the Mexican side of things. You know what I mean? So I think she's having a little bit of an adjustment period right now with the crew that she's set with. You know, they're either speaking, they're speaking their native languages is what I'm saying. And she's feeling a bit left out, and, you know, and I can relate to this because this is something I had to grow up with. Like I always said that I was a little too white, a little too brown from a white friends and a little too white from a brown friends. You know what I mean? And I think that's what she's going through. So
absolutely,
you know, so it's nice because now that she's been gone for like a week and a half, and it's like I'm just calling her just to say, hey, I missed you. I want to hear your voice and kind of getting a feel. So I think she's had highs and lows, but I think she's gonna be just fine, dude. She's a very resilient kid, and she knows what she wants. And I just told her, I said, these things shall pass. You guys are going to be too busy to be focusing on that shit here in about a week. So,
oh, dude, it's about to go full blown, dude.
Yeah, because the whole time that she had been there up until last Wednesday, it was all orientation. So she was there like 5 days of orientation before she even started a class.
Has she done any of the week of welcome activities and stuff like that?
I think so. I think that's what all that was. It was all group, and that's kind of where this whole thing started. Was the people that she was grouped with. We're kind of giving her that whole, you're not Mexican. Someone actually told her, your parents get along? She's like, yeah. She's like, you're not Mexican. I'm like, what the fuck does that mean?
That's actually funny.
I guess so. I mean,
I didn't know that was a thing.
Neither did I. So, but then again, I'm not like the ambassador for Mexico. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, like I said, she's going to do fine. She's going to find her little clique. But like you brought up, she's going to be so busy. She's not going to really have time to worry about any of the other stuff.
Yeah, she's soaking up the culture of the town, and it's a really cool little town, dude. Like they have this direct path. It seems like it's far away, but it's really not that far away. The campus has this direct path built from the campus into town. So it goes through all the neighborhoods, stays out of the traffic and everything like that.
I did not know that.
So she's constantly going into town and checking it out. It's a really cool little place, man. They got good food there. They got
it's a nice campus. I've been there once. It was a really nice campus.
It's a very nice campus. It's actually one of the biggest UC campuses in the country, which I was not aware. I did not know that either, Steve.
I imagine the only bigger one is UCLA.
I think it might be bigger than UCLA.
Do you think so?
I think. Don't hold me to it, but I think it might be. This is all hearsay from my daughter.
Oh, no doubt. And it's just beautiful. How good do you feel that your daughter, I mean, all your kids, like both your kids are successful. It feels good now. They're both on their feet handling business.
Handling things, dude. Yeah. It's good.
Yeah, dude, you've done a good job. You should feel sorry. You should feel good for yourself, especially like Ben has his own job. I mean, dude, there's a lot. He has a job. He goes to the job. He's there on time. Come on.
Oh, he's doing 40 a week, man. 8 to 5.
Jeez. I might have to hook him because Maj put in for Dutch Bros. I'm like, I should hit up Ben.
He's not on that side of things anymore, but that's just
what?
I don't know if people give a shit about this, but no, he's not. He does more like the maintenance stuff now. He's not the guy out there. Hey, how can I caffeinate your day?
Good.
Awesome, bro.
They do too much, dude.
You want what?
They do too much.
Chai? Awesome, bro. Yeah. He's not that guy. He was.
They need to calm. Did he not like doing it?
No, I think they really do kind of want you to have that affect, which is weird. Like, is there an in-service for that? I didn't ask you.
It's a ridiculous thing, dude. Sometimes you're not in the mood, which is why I've never gone back. I didn't like their coffee, but I've never gone back because it's just too much. Sometimes I like to just go to the like Shaw 99 Starbucks is the best Starbucks in town because it will have a line of 20 people and you're up to the window in a minute.
They're like, let's go.
Yep,
I know. Why did it take so long at the other ones? I've noticed.
I don't know. It's ridiculous, dude. It is ludicrous how long those Starbucks take. I'm like, there's only 2 people in front of me. And I'm like, and then I think, oh, they must have ordered 18 drinks. Nope. They hand out and then have the nerve to hand out the drinks and have a conversation. I'm like, if you're that slow, no.
That's what I was going to ask you. Does it piss you off when you see them talking? Like,
I
know,
dude.
Because, I was thinking, like, when I'm not being a dick, I'm thinking that they're probably they're stuck because they're not making the drinks. They're just taking the money. So it's kind of like standing on stage because the queue hasn't happened or something like that. But at the same time, it's like, you know what? Don't, because it looks like you're not doing shit from 3 cars behind.
And no, I get mad when they hand them the drinks and stay there for a while talking. That's when I'm just like, oh, you're going to, if you're quick, I have no problem. Then have a conversation after you've done the drinks. Like at Shaw 99, have a conversation, have a ball because you guys are so fast. But once you hand out those drinks, it's been and you've been slow and you still have the conversation. No. That's why I only go to Shaw 99 now. I mean, they're just how rapid they are, bro. It is mind blowing, dude.
Welcome to Starbucks. We don't give a fuck. Can I help you?
Dude, and one dude was like, hey, you got soy in your drink? Yeah. He's like, oi, lactose intolerance? I'm like, yeah, G. He's like, me too, man. Me too. I was like, yeah, got me my drink. I'm on my way, man. But
I thought he was going to clown you because you were doing soy or something like that.
Dude, so many people have lactose intolerance. It's out of this world. You're probably going to develop it one day.
I have it already. Come on, man. I told you, I only drink oat milk.
Oh, is that why you do oat milk?
I only drink oat milk, yeah, because it fucks me up. Everything else makes me all gurgly and whatnot.
I thought you could drink milk.
I can still eat ice cream though, but I can't drink milk.
Same with me.
It's weird because I'll just drink a little bit of milk and it's all like,
oh, for sure, dude.
No, what have I done? What have I done?
That would be the greatest prank on you if I'm like, hey, Dan, I brought you Starbucks to the job, man. Here you go. Have a good day. Holla at your boy. Yeah, have some milk up in that piece.
So what's been up with you, man?
It's let's see, what has been going on with me? Nothing really. Nothing. Absolutely wonderfully
awesome.
Things are going very. Oh, you know what? I got rejected for the first time in my life.
Rejected?
Not in my life. I submitted a song for a commercial and TV spot, and they were like, "No."
Dear sir, this sucks. Thank you for your.
What
kind? Was it a jingle or?
I don't know what they did. It was just they said they were looking for this sort of song, and I submitted, and I was like, "What is this feeling I have?" And I said, "Oh, this is a feeling of total rejection."
Can I hear the song?
Oh, dude, I don't. It's on my.
Come
computer,
on.
Man. No, it's not a song like singing.
I know.
No,
it's like a bed, right?
I'll send it to you.
Send it to me right now. Let me play it. I want to see if I can put a commercial on it. Let me see if I can do something with it, is what I'm saying.
You probably could, but
let's try it out, man.
I am not going to send this, especially the thing that got rejected. I was like, I'm deleting it from every part of my life.
Why are you so upset about this? Like, people get rejected all the time. Someone has to get this desired position or whatever, what have you. So it's like, not everyone can do it.
But it's easier to be like, say I get rejected from our job.
Yeah.
I know why I got rejected because someone else has been there longer. Oh, that's why. I still would have done a better job. It's just they were there.
Let me hear the song, please.
But it's gone. I deleted it.
You're lying.
I deleted it from my computer.
So
this whole week I was very, 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 very mad.
That's too bad. I could have done something with it, man.
Like vengeance was in my brain. And then I oddly enough, I found this podcast on rejection and they're like, are you feeling vengeful? I was like, holy cow, I am. They're like, yeah, you're human. That's what you feel when you get rejected. Like, you would have been like, I shall show them all. You're like, yeah, don't feel that. You're like, you know what? It's just move on, do your thing. You'll be fine. Everyone gets, and they started telling a story about, obviously, in the, an actor that was, she talked about how many times she's been rejected in the television industry. She's like, if you can't handle, she got, I think she said like 170 before she got like a little bit part. And she's like, yeah, it sucks, but that's just, you kind of got to just keep going because they'll tell you, oh, you don't have the look. And you walk out thinking, what does that, like, am I ugly? Or is it just like, I don't have the what? And she's like, you just got to get used to that thing.
Maybe diet a little bit before you come in next time.
Oh, geez, I couldn't deal with it. If I thank the Lord I didn't want to get into acting, I would probably end up with a trench coat and just walking into every agency acting a daggone fool because it sucks. And especially when there's like 3 different spots and I just went and I just deleted everything until, again, I got on the, I checked out the podcast and it's actually, it's nothing but rejection. It talks to stars who have gotten rejected. And even people that are just in commercials that have been rejected. And they're like, here's how you deal with this thing that you call, because the first time, dude, this sucked.
You're by your keyboard right now. You could play a little bit.
It's not on my keyboard.
No, I'm saying you could literally play the song on your keyboard.
Oh no, it's a beat. Like it was because what they do is they send you, like this time they sent you a track of it was Anderson .Paak, and they were like, hey, we want something that sounds like this. And I did something that was fire, I thought. And so it wasn't a song, it was like a beat. It was a beat that they wanted. And I was like, man, this thing is fire. And I was like, good luck, everybody else. Why are you even submitting? Because your boy got this. Game over, go home. And they were like, Charlie Murphy, wrong. Wrong.
That's okay, man. You know what? You're gonna get, if you keep doing stuff, guess what? You're gonna get rejected more. And that's not to discourage you. But I think this is a good growth thing for you.
Is it?
It's teaching you humility.
Yeah.
And humbling you down a little bit because you got.
It was.
They got a little ego on you, man.
It was definitely. And let me tell you one thing that did. I was like, one dude put a link accidentally instead of submitting the link to the place, and it was. I was able to see the link. I was like, ooh, let me see what he did. Let me tell you something, bro. It was fire. I said, man, I gotta up my game, man, because I'm so used to writing songs and singing the songs. Be like, how is it you write for something else that has nothing to do with your style or what you listen to? And the next one was they wanted it like one of those Latin pop, one of those things, and I was like, oh my, yes, I don't know how to do that. So I was like, I did that part, and then I'm like, okay, well, let me try to do everything else. And then on top of that, I laid some stuff and it was fine. But I was like, yeah, this is fire too. But both of them, oh no, that one, I don't even think it made it through. Like, I didn't even want to submit it because I was like, it was okay, but it was nowhere. When I heard other people's, I was like, oh, this is.
See, it's kind of like American Idol stuff.
Absolutely. And it's not even the thing is, I think it's not even one of those things where you get writing for commercials and stuff. Like one dude had a golf channel, those little, when they're showing whatever on the golf channel, there's little bed music. Yeah. He'll get like $700 a month because they play different bed music that he had. But I mean, you have to get a lot of placements to make a living.
You know what you need to do, bro, is that you need to get into the whole holding music thing.
Holding music?
Yeah, the music. Oh,
you mean on the phone?
Yeah, get into that.
I think that's where the sync licensing is where you they'll sell it to other, because some people, if they're really good, like the people that own the libraries will say, hey, we want to rep you exclusively. We don't want you giving your music to other libraries. We want to rep you as an exclusive artist. And then they'll be able to just like push out your stuff. But some of these people that make these like beds, they're not even like musicians. They just they know how to make really good beats and put
loops and stuff.
Yes. And they just do that. And I'm like, you know what? That's smart. Because they're like, don't work too hard.
There's money in this, dude.
Oh, dude, there is one.
Haven't you ever been on hold before and you hear like one of the songs and you're like, oh, I've heard this one before, and you're kind of grooving to it while you're on hold?
Oh, but for sure, dude.
They come back on, they're like, thank you for holding. You're like, oh, fuck, I wasn't even to the good part yet.
Oh, for sure. And one guy had a story. He was like, man, I was a lawyer. I'm a lawyer now, but I was a lawyer. This is my passion. But it gets to a point where you're like, I could either go all the way. He's like 55. He's like, this is my last shot. I've been doing this for years and years and years. And I finally decided to buy a keyboard, buy a computer, buy these things and be like, you know what? I'm going to go for my passion. And he got a placement. And I was actually happy for him. I was like, look at you. You went out and been like, you know what? I've been taking care of my family, and which is good, doing a professional job. Now I want to be able to come home, stay up till maybe 3 a.m, doing music and trying to get a sing. And he got a sing placement. And I was like, I can't help but feel wonderful for someone who just said, I'm going for it.
I think,
and you still have your law job, but you're like, I'm going to do this thing too, because everyone else seems to be happy in this family. I'm happy too, but I mean, I want my passion too. And I was like, this is a beautiful story, man.
I think you need to do this, bro. I think this is going to help make your dreams come true. Financially, anyways.
Making our dreams come true.
For me and you.
Hey!
You know these youngsters don't know that song.
You know what? I still don't know what they say in the beginning.
Doing it our way.
No, like Scabigo, Famago.
Oh, it's what is it? It's hold on. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Schlemiel, Schlemazel, Hassenpfeffer Corporated. I think that's not right.
Is it Hassenpfeffer?
No, it's not Hassenpfeffer. I'm sorry. It came out. It's Shots. I don't know why I said Hassenpfeffer.
I was like, oh, it's Hassenpfeffer.
I think I said Hassenpfeffer as a joke, but no, it's like Shots something Incorporated. Shots, where they work. Shots Brewery. I don't know why I said Hassenpfeffer. I think I used to say that shit from Bugs Bunny. Bring me my Halsen. Yeah, there was the one where he's like, bring me my Hassenpfeffer. But hey, that's old people shit. There I go again with
and the funny thing is, you're
my
not
pop
old
culture references that people don't know.
You're very young.
In the big scheme of things, so not so much.
Jay-Z's like 51.
Yeah, but so what's that matter?
There's
lots of people that are 51.
I know, and you got to.
What's Jay-Z doing these days, though? Really?
Being a billionaire.
Yeah, but that's it. Like he's already. This is just like the fruits of his labor at this point.
Well, you got to take into consideration, like the Beatles only recorded for 7 years, so a lot can happen if you do it.
If you do it
7 years, it's over. Yeah, that's all you need to do. You have planted your flag.
Yeah, he did it right.
Like, yeah, we're the best group of all time.
See, me not so much. That's the thing I can
do. Dude, look, man, you could be the podcaster extraordinaire, my friend.
That would be if I showed up every week, Steve. But this is the most I've missed since we've been recording together.
People, I'm going to tell you, I normally make fun of Dan, but I called him one day and heard him talking. It was not the same human being. The only reason I knew it was you is because I heard Gail say stuff in the background. I was like, this doesn't even sound like Dan.
My voice was gone for the most part.
Dude.
And the scarier part, though, because I can deal with laryngitis, the scarier part was I was having trouble, because I was going to try and record last week, but I was having trouble where if I started speaking for any extended amount of time, I would just completely lose all breath.
Oh, dude, you sound like you were jogging. I was like, are you on a jog?
We were in that hotel. And we were watching something that we're going to be talking about in just a little bit. We were watching this. I binged the whole goddamn thing.
Of course.
And, but there was one point where Gail fell asleep and I actually woke her up and I said, hey, I just want to let you know the nearest emergency department is actually 7 miles away and I have the things ready to go. Because I wasn't sure. I know it sounds crazy, bro. I wasn't sure if I was going to make it through the night without having to go to the emergency room.
Holy
it was bad.
Crap, dude.
Like I was going, that's how I was breathing. Short little breaths.
Bro.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. So anyway, I don't want to always like to talk about my ailments, but this one was a bitch. With this and then the other stuff is still kind of remotely going on. It's really taken away like 7 weeks of my life. So I'm glad to be back again, ladies and gentlemen. I just want to tell you right now, because you guys need to be hearing me and Steve. That's the truth right now. Steve, he has his strengths. I have my strengths. You know what I mean? Like Steve, for instance, he's musical. He's got the gift of gab. He's got a wonderful laugh. He's charming to talk to, and he knows a little bit about everything. You know what I'm saying? Whereas with me, I just like fart jokes and like
that's not true.
It's kind of true, but like I mean, I have strengths too, Steve. Like I don't know, that thing that like that meatloaf won't do for love. that one thing, or like how Hall & Oates, the thing that they can't go for. That's just my specialty,
yeah.
G. You know what I'm saying? That's where I excel. That's my specialty.
Are you more of a Hall & Oates or a Meatloaf?
I'd go Hall & Oates, but just don't step on my joke here. I'm just saying I'll do that dirty thing.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, what's the dirty thing?
It's none of your fucking business, Steve, and you'll never know.
I genuinely was asking. I thought you were going to be like, oh, it's this because I know the song so well. I didn't know the song that well.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm a little out of practice. I'm just flying by the seat of my pants, as they say right now.
You know what they do say. You know what else they say?
What's that?
They want to hear the contact information.
Problem with that, I can't.
Oh my goodness.
Well, no.
Did I catch you off guard?
It's not that you caught me off guard. It's that I have two different soundboards, right?
Oh.
And the soundboard with all of the contact info stuff on it, since iTunes stepped their game up with another iOS, like I can't access it anymore.
Mine messed up too. They didn't accept my login for like a long time, dude.
Yeah. So I'm having some issues, but I mean, I can give you all the rundown real quick. It's just not it's not going to have that wacky feel like it normally does. You know what I mean? No one gives a shit. I know this for a fact. Contact information is as follows, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to get a hold of the show, hit us up at heroesofnoisepodcast@gmail.com. That is heroesofnoisepodcast@gmail.com. Pause for breath. Still out of breath. I'm serious, man. As soon as I start talking fast. On Twitter, you can hit us up at Heroes of Noise. You can reach me, Dan at Dan Q Public, and Steve at SE_Hudson Music. Go to www.heroesofnoise.com, and there you can get all of our shows. I admit I haven't really been putting too much work into the website lately, but you know what? It's still a wonderful website. It's lovely, and we're happy to have you. So go and check it out over there. And there you can subscribe to our show if you haven't yet. Maybe you're new. Maybe this is your first time listening. You know what? Go back and listen if you. We've been better, but this one's going to be good, I promise you. But go ahead and do that. And then, you can do it all from the website. So thank you very much, and we'll go ahead and move along, blah, 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 blah.
Dan?
Yes, sir.
About a week ago, we talked. 2 weeks ago, I think.
Yes.
And you had made an interesting purchase. And I wanted to talk. And here's the thing. This is something that I've seen on like documentary, random like National Geographic crap.
Yeah.
And Dan is like, oh, I have one.
National Geographic? What you seeing that on National Geographic? Dude?
No, is it maybe like the History Channel? It might be the History Channel.
Everyone has one now, really.
Dude,
it's not as uncommon as you think.
Maybe not as uncommon as you think, but I would say maybe a small percentage of people have what you have. Will you tell the audience what we're talking about?
Oh, it's my 3D printer. Is that what you're referring to?
Look at this guy, man.
I just thought you would be interested in knowing about it because you think I like really expensive things and weird stuff. This is just
you do.
I'll be honest with you, like I'm still having trouble truly justifying my purchase. But it just depends on how you look at it, okay?
Okay.
So, because really it could be one of the, like, I don't really think I'm going to get into the whole point of, like, I'm going to make money off of this. I'm going to sell stuff. That's just not me, and I don't have the time to do that. Between work, the podcast, and my life, I just don't have time to start an Etsy account and just print shit for days and days on end.
Etsy.
You know what I mean?
That's dope, yeah.
But, it's fun though, dude. Like it's very hip. It's like hypnotic to watch this thing print. And I'll just say this, Steve, you're going to benefit from it.
Hey,
very, very soon, I think.
Oh, snap.
I hesitate to even say that now, just in case something fucks up. But let's just say I have you in mind right now. Matter of fact, my current major project. This is going to be my first project where I go from printing to like, okay, I'll break it down to you. I just won't tell you what it is.
Hit me up.
So like, you have something that's called an STL file. And what that is that some very artistic person has made a 3D model in digital form that you can download and take the credit for, basically. And you just put this thing in it, and then you have to run it through what's called a slicer, where it's like it'll show you each individual layer as it's being printed, and then like it'll tell you, oh hey, you've got some overhang here. You have to think about it like in 3D, as if you're like watching this thing go. If it's something, I'm trying to think of something I could like tell you. Let's say, that anatomy guy, like the picture of human anatomy with the dude and he's got his arms out and his legs out. You know what I'm talking about?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so let's just say you were printing that and it was vertical, right? The hands, if you can picture the hands being spread out like that, they're basically just in midair, right?
Yes.
So you can't print in midair because it'll just like fall. So what you have to do is create these little supports and stuff. anyway, what I'm saying is you have to put a little bit of work in first before, I don't want to bore people with it, but you have to put a little bit of work in first before you can actually print this thing. And then, like the first printer I got was an absolute shit printer. It's a really good printer, but I got like a broken one. Uh-huh. So I couldn't do anything with it. Where this one, it's just like plug and play and you're good to go. So I've been printing some really cool shit. So when you do this, you print it out. Uh-huh. And then it takes, depending on how big it is, you can print it. If you have a big enough printer, you can print everything in one size.
Yes.
Like in other words, like in as a single piece. Whereas mine's a little bit smaller, so I had to like digitally cut it up into sections, right? So I'm just gonna tell you the work I'm putting in for you, Steve. So this thing was, I mean, I didn't design it, but it is cut up into 8 individual sections, right?
Okay.
Once they were printed, I then, what they call is 3D welding, where I have this little 3D pen, and you basically weld it together. Like, it's the same temperature that melts the plastic. So you put more plastic over it. And I didn't do the best job there because it's the first time. So I have a little bit of post-processing to do, where once it's all put together, then I sand it, primer it, paint it.
Jesus, Dan.
Yeah. But I like to do that shit, though. That's the thing.
Is this in your garage?
Yes.
Oh, he has a workshop now.
I got a little workshop. A workshop going on there.
Do you have the steel? You have the big old face shield with the little window.
I got some safety goggles.
That is so dope.
I got an N95 mask with a vent, because you don't want to be. Because I have a Dremel, Steve. So because you got to sand and you take stuff down.
Do you have the big leather like body? It looks like a butcher's.
Let's go see the neighbor man to see if he'll make us a sword. No, I'm not going that far. And the thing is that it's like because I want to have multiple projects going just to keep me busy. I really enjoy doing that kind of stuff. And mostly right now, it's just going to be people benefiting from it by me giving them things. But there's like this whole other side to it where you use a program called, Fusion 360, I believe, where I don't have an engineering type mind. But, you can actually make useful things in your house, replace things. Dope. Oh, this part broke on my car or whatever. I'll just print it instead of going to buy a new one. You can do that kind of stuff. I'm just not there yet. So right now it really is me just doing like, my daughter's friend, he wanted a Chris knife from the new Dune movie. So I got that printed out and I'm printing.
Holy cow.
I'm like sanding that one down this weekend. That's going to be the first thing I do. I got to sand this thing down and finish it. I don't know if I'm going to paint it for him, but who cares?
But then, you could make like a Halloween mask for Halloween, can't you?
Oh, yeah, dude. I could make like straight up like Marvel masks and shit if I wanted to.
Oh, dude, you're good. This is an actually good purchase.
It's just fun. It's just fun. But the problem is that if you don't, because I had to kind of practice a little bit, right? So I ended up with a bunch of little stupid things all over the house that I eventually just threw away. Because there's like little calibration things that you print. And if it comes out nice, you're good. But if not, then you can kind of figure it out. But like, what else have I done so far? It's just shit that's not really going to serve me any purpose other than bringing someone joy. My buddy Matt, it's his birthday. Yesterday was his birthday. And it's in the mail right now. But I printed it's an all gold, like a Eddie from Iron Maiden. It's like about, it's about 8 inches, man. 8 inches tall. And it's from the Power Slave album. So he'll dig that. It's little things like that right now. But it's fun, dude. And I'm kind of, the printer's constantly running. It's just, you got to be careful because you can totally end up being like the hoarder of 3D print stuff, where there's just a bunch of fucking plastic all over your house with no use for it. And that's what I'm trying to avoid. Yeah.
I mean, here's what I will say, that this is sounding really freaking cool.
It's cool. I would love to show you. You know what I mean? You should come over and check it out when you're not afraid.
That junk looks freaking, it seems freaking insane. Because in my brain, it's this massive machine, but I don't think it's that.
No, it's like, it's probably like 2.5 feet tall.
Oh, it is a big machine.
And the build plate is like, what is it? 250. It's because there's like an X, Y, and Z angles, planes rather. So I think, was it 250 by 250 by 265? It's not that big, dude. Really.
How much does it weigh?
I'd say probably 25 pounds tops.
I imagine you're on like Reddit forums.
Dude, I got so many forums and Facebook groups and all kinds of stuff.
Of course.
I got this one called an Anycubic Viper. Anycubic is the brand and Viper is the model. And they've been around for a while, but this one just came out this year. Yes. And there's this other printer called an Ender 3. This is probably so boring to people, but there's a printer called there's a printer called the Ender 3 that basically is like the, hey, copy me, like take this model and just improve on it. So everyone always kind of works around the Ender 3 platform because that's like the most user-friendly one. This one basically is like an Ender 3 on steroids, and it does everything that I need it to do. And it's other than just being
nice,
a little big.
Dude.
Are you looking at the Viper?
I'm looking at the Ender 3.
Oh man, why are you doing that, Steve? You're supposed to look at the Viper.
Oh, the Viper. Hold on. Let me look at the Viper.
So, well, since you're at the Ender 3, take a look at it, and you see how they have like this this box that's next to it. That's like a control.
Yes.
Little situation going on, like your little control board. Now look at the Anycubic Viper.
Let me see. Oh, nice.
So it's got that box.
Holy
now.
Crap! You spent that much money on this thing?
Probably not. I don't know what the price is.
It says $2,900.
No, not even close.
Oh, okay.
You're looking at the wrong one.
Okay.
Viper, VYPER.
VYP. Okay, I put the normal spelling of Viper.
Understandable.
Oh, that is dope, dude. Oh, you have your little control thing on the side too.
Yeah, but see how it's like a kind of like an iPhone or something.
Yes.
So it's just cleaner. Everything's cleaner and it works really well.
This is really dope, dude.
It's fun, man. Seriously, I think you're gonna like what I'm doing for you.
Hey, one of them has a cold little like horror glove in the like as a display underneath. That's pretty dope, dude.
A horror glove.
Yeah, like a glove, like a monster hand that it printed. And
dude,
it's like a big monster hand too.
I was thinking, I'm like, what could I do for Steve that he'll like? Because I know you're so picky.
I'm really not.
You really are. And I'm still going like, are you going to go, oh, this is great. Here you go, Mosh. I'm still wondering if that's going to be the case.
The thing is, dude, I am genuinely like flabbergasted by this thing you just got. It's pretty, I mean, I didn't see it happening. I didn't know that was going to be a thing you were going to start doing. That's why I'm so shocked.
I've been obsessed with these since the first time I saw one. And I just was like, I'm going to wait until the price is right. And the price was right.
And now do any of your friends, like any of your buddies have one?
Eric Marable has one. Who else has one? Mark Buskine has one. These are all friends on the group. They're all like, leftover Army friends. And then who else has one? As far as friends go, that's about it.
But they do they hit you up and be like, hey, you should try this.
No, I was more like hitting them up at first and probably bugging the shit out of them because the first one I got was a lemon. So no matter what they said to do, I would do it and then shit would fuck up. And I know, like, I get it. I mean, I understand there's like a learning curve, but I'm also not an idiot. So I know that this thing was just fucked up. It's just one of those things. I just got a messed up one, but I got so frustrated with it that I just, fuck it, I'm done. So I ended up getting like Eric has the one that I'm referring to. Mark has the Ender 3, and I ended up going with the one that's like the Ender 3, that Anycubic. Dope.
You know, Marcus, you're gonna have a lot of fun coming up here. I mean, you could even like if you were in your car and you said, "I need a iPhone holster," you could just build it.
Exactly. My friend Jeremy has one too. He has an Ender 3, and he's an actual engineer, so he's constantly doing shit like because there's different types of plastic you can use. The one I use is called PLA. It's kind of like your beginner's plastic. But the problem with it is it's got a low heat resistance. So if you leave it in your car in the summertime, it's going to melt. But they have this other stuff it's called PETG. And don't ask me what it stands for. That stuff's heat resistant. That's the kind of stuff where you can actually, replace a part under your hood or something like that. So anyway,
that's dope.
But he has a Tesla and he designed this I can't really explain it, but it's cooler than it sounds. It's like this, it's for earbuds, but it's like affixed to his dash and it's got like the Tesla emblem on it. Everything he designed.
Oh, he's doing the most.
It looks really nice though. It looks like it came with the car.
That is really cool. I mean, because I would imagine like if something broke, like, hey, my washer broke, and it's like, oh, you need this whatever. Instead of going to Home Depot, I'll be like, I can just print it out.
It might take a couple hours, but I'll just get it for essentially for free.
Yeah, I'll just watch a movie. I don't have to leave.
Yeah, for a few cents, I can do this. A few cents on the dollar, I can build this thing. Totally, that's what that kind of stuff's for. I'm not quite there yet.
Dude, in my brain, there are so many different things. Because like I would probably make a laptop cover of whatever emblem I wanted. I would make my speaker holders. I would also make like a thing that holds my if I put my flat screen on my wall and the wires go in the wall and out, I would create something that holds my cable box up against the wall. Dude, I would go crazy.
It's fun, man. I'm telling you, like, if you get an idea, let me know, and then we can like design it together. And I can just show you online what I'm doing, and you can get it.
It's pretty crazy that you know how to do this, Dan. I'm
learning how to do it. I'm very good at like, I can download this file that I paid for. Like, so I'll pay for some files and other ones are free. But it's like, I don't think that everything should be free because these people are putting their time and effort into making these. I'm serious. Like, these fuckers are artists, some of the stuff.
Absolutely. And it's trial and error too. They probably made it, didn't work. They had to redesign it. So now you just have the perfect thing without all the trial and error that they
You'll
did.
see that. It'll be like, update, use this one now because whatever. There's all this stuff.
That's beautiful.
All this terminology that I'm still learning about. And that has to do with like layer thickness and the speed and the temperature, all that kind of stuff. But it's really, really cool.
It's pretty freaking dope.
And I'm hoping you're going to dig what I'm doing for you.
I am, dude. Let me just go ahead and ruin the
gigantic sex toy. It's a big sex toy. Big butt plug with my face.
Wow.
My face on the tip.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I just want to be up in there. With HON on the part that sticks out of your butt, so you know the brand. Yeah.
People be like, I'll say, "Oh, what is the name of my podcast?" You ask.
Let me just tie my shoes. Oh, yes, I've heard that one.
That is hilarious. Well, Dan, that's awesome. Thank you for telling everybody about your wonderful 3D printer.
No problem, Steve. I'm happy to do it, buddy.
I'm going to tell you right now, they're more interested than you think they are.
You know what? I say everyone get one. It's dope. And then we can all share files and stuff, and it's pretty cool. Well, then again, that kind of takes away from the artistic paying the artist. But hey, you know what they don't know won't hurt them.
Random question, and you don't have to answer this if you don't want.
Mm-hmm.
Who is a listener that you think would be like, oh, you need to get this?
Wait, what do you mean? That a listener that I'm telling they need to get it?
Yeah, you're like, oh, this person would love this thing.
I honestly think the people that are into them already have them. You know what I mean?
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I think, like, I know a lot of the listeners that have like, they like to collect the stuff. I don't know if they necessarily like making the stuff.
Oh, because that would make sense. Like, I'm like, oh, I could just print out every single Marvel mask and put it on my wall in my, whatever.
You literally could.
It seems like everyone would want that then, instead of having to buy it.
It's just a lot of work, man.
Yeah.
Depending on the size of your printer. Like, if I had the larger printer, I could have just hit the button and it just builds this thing in one piece and I'm good to go. But in the case of the way I have to do it, I actually have to put it all together, which isn't that big of a deal. I kind of like doing that stuff.
Dude, well, congratulations on your purchase. I mean, you now, I mean, hitting the buy button.
I do that a lot.
Hey, look, dude, let me tell you something. Ever since I found out Amazon will deliver your food from Whole Foods and I don't have to go anywhere.
Wait, what?
Oh,
they really? Amazon?
Yeah, you go to Amazon Prime, you go to Whole Foods on Amazon Prime, and you'll be like, hey, what time do you want the delivery for your food? You just add them to the bag and be like, what time do you want us to deliver?
Oh, so it's like Instacart, but through Amazon.
It's Amazon for only through Whole Foods, though.
Huh. Okay. All right, good to know.
It's a problem.
It's a problem. Good to know. It's expensive, though.
It is.
You're kind of bougie when it comes to your food.
I only like there's certain foods that I do want. It's important to me. It sucks that I can't. Pre-try my blueberries because often they are terrible.
But and they never pick the right ones.
They really don't.
They really don't. Every once in a while, like with Instacart, I'll get a guy that's like, hey, and he'll be, or man or woman that'll be talking back and forth with me going, hey, these are on sale. You wanted the 8-pack, but I got you 2 4-packs and you saved like $2. Like, I like those people. But then you get the ones that don't contact you at all.
Or something?
Hey.
I was like, wait a minute, where's this guy from? I got the 2-pack.
The owner of the store was hiding the good bananas, but don't worry, I handled it.
Where's this guy from?
Sorry, I was coughing.
Freaking Dan. But anyway, so
yeah.
I have another thing I need to ask you.
What's up?
You're a purveyor. Would it be purveyor? Well, you're at least of live music.
Purveyor?
What is it, purveyor?
Isn't a purveyor somebody that like peddles things?
I don't know. Let's see. Purveyor.
Or am I wrong about that?
You're right. Deals in particular goods.
Yeah. I don't really deal with music. You're more of a purveyor than I am. What do you think about it?
That's true.
I'm a purveyor of podcasts.
That's true. But you do like live music.
I do, buddy.
And here's what I will also say. You are the person I know that is just like, You will talk about bands that I have never in my life heard of. And this is the day that you also have a band that I've never heard of. But they're coming to I don't know if you know this, but they might be coming to the best city in California. Why are you laughing?
Fresno, California, man.
I love this place, G.
I'm glad, even though you want to move.
Oh, well, I have to because, the air.
Yeah. So you don't love it. That's all I'm saying. But
I
yes,
still love
Volk.
it.
I'm talking about
on, yes.
Volk, the band Volk. Now, I know a lot of listeners that listen to the show also listen to Pop Culture Leftovers, so Volk may sound familiar to you. But what they are, I believe they're from Nashville. And if I'm wrong about that, I'm really sorry. But I do believe they are from Nashville. And it's a 2-person band, a la White Stripes, yet nothing like White Stripes. We have a drummer who sings. We also have a guitar player that sings.
Holy crap. I opened Twitter, G. What is the first marketing or ad that I get on my Twitter?
I'm going to go ahead and go with Volk.
No, 3D printer.
Oh, shit. It's already begun, dude. Your phone is listening.
It could be coincidence, but I've never had a 3D printing.
I highly doubt that it's coincidence.
I love it.
Anyway, I was going to tell you that Volk is comprised of Chris Lowe, who plays guitar and vocals, and then I believe it's Elliot. I think it's Reich, R-E-I-C-H, but it's drums and lead vocals. And I don't know, dude. They just got a sound that I really like. I think that their show is going to be really fun to see. Listening and watching Volk is like, kind of like reminds me of like going back, like Gail and I were watching their video for a song called Cashville or Welcome to Cashville. And it reminds me of like going to shows in the 90s. You know what I mean? Like being in that little club and just watching these bands that you may not have never heard of, but they just come in and they just come like kick your ass.
Absolutely.
Like, who the hell was that? I'm going to go buy their CD or whatever. That's what Volk reminds me of. Really high energy. And they kind of refer to themselves as cowpunk, I guess. I'll just read you what it says. Thrash and twang duo Volk set expectations on fire with their explosive brand of cowpunk and glam rock. So what is that? I'm happy to tell you that I'm going to play some at the end of the show. I think you should check it out. I actually talked with Chris Lowe recently because I wanted to make sure it was okay if we played the music on the show. And Steve, I want to tell you that Volk may be coming on the show soon.
What?
Yeah, we're just going to talk to these folks, you know?
What?
Let them meet us. Let us meet them. Let our listeners meet them and, see what we can do.
I cannot wait, man.
What's this say? They've been doing the reverse White Stripes. So why is that?
So the stripe whites.
The stripe whites is exactly what they're talking about. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You got it, dude. First try. That's awesome. So should I play them now or should I play them at the end of the show?
Let's play them now.
Okay. All right. Let me just set it up real quick. And I'm going to play a song called Welcome to Cashville, ladies and gentlemen. I think you're going to like it and enjoy. Here we go. This is Welcome to Cashville by Volk.
All right, you human piles of filth. Now I got expensive taste here at Romanus Records. These white alligator boots ain't gonna buy themselves, so you get your sad boy, country honky tonk, whatever your hot bodies out there on the road, and you gonna make me some money.
It was another great day in that city. for Waylon, and this one's for Willie, and this is for the great Towns Van Sant. And good old Steve Earle, cause the judges in his world, well, he be the king of fucking Nashville!
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Volk. Welcome to Cashville.
Nice.
That's a lot of music coming out for two people right there. It's a lot of sound.
Absolutely. And it's only two people?
Two people. Guitar and drums and vocals, man. That's it.
Three people.
Two people.
What's vocals?
I'm saying they both do vocals, but guitar and drums.
Okay.
Two people.
I was saying I consider the vocalist an instrument.
The drummer is the vocalist, the main vocalist.
Oh, I'm impressed.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
So she sings while playing.
While playing, yes.
That is really difficult to do. She's like a Karen Carpenter, is what you say.
Pretty much is what I'm saying. She's better than a Meg White, which is from the White Stripes. I don't know. I know you don't really know their. I'm just saying she is. She just is. I'm not going to make it a bad thing.
I don't know Megan.
Well, it's
Megan White.
Then why would you? It's Meg, and why would you defend her if you don't know her?
It might be Megan for the.
Maybe it is. Maybe your parents call her that. But that is Volk,
Margaret.
and that's who is coming to Fresno. So listen, I'm gonna let you know. December 2nd at Full Circle Brewery. I believe it is the old, for your locals, I believe it is the old Club Fred Olympic Tavern, which if it is, I'm super stoked because shows there are awesome. It's going to be like a small, intimate setting. I'll be there. Gail's going to be there. I believe Neil Thollander is going to be coming down from Napa. He's going to be there for you listeners that know who Neil is, and I'm sure you do. But I don't know. I don't know if Steve's going to be there, but I'm going to try and get as many people there as I can to check the show out. It'll be fun. It's on a Thursday night. I'm sure there's be some tacos around or something like that. Let's hang out. Let's have fun, man. It'll be like this kind of like get together meetup thing, but we're also going to go check out an awesome gig.
That is awesome, man. That is really, really. I'm glad you actually played that song.
Thank you. I'm glad I played it too. And I'm going to play another one at the end. I'm just not sure exactly what I'm playing yet. Mystery song, Steve. Going to be a little surprise at the end there. But check them out.
Yes.
I just want to give their website real quick. Go to live, Livevolk, livevolk.com and check it out. And it'll tell you pretty much everything you need to know about them. And I think there's links to the album and all that kind of stuff too.
What's the history behind their name?
That's a really good question, Steve. You're going to make me read right now?
Never mind. I honestly just thought you guys knew. That's all. Maybe I'll ask him or ask them when they come to the show.
Don't ask me, Steve. Exactly. Ask them.
Yeah, I have a lot of questions to ask them. I want to know what kind of DAW they use. I want to know what kind of effects they put on the instrumentation. I want to know all these things, Dan. Can't wait to talk to them. Anyway, there's another live band coming out.
They are, but it's the Foo Fighters are coming. They're going to come again. I'm going to see them again, Steve. But the thing is, are you going to see them?
I haven't gotten any information regarding that. Remember, they're denying all. They're denying a lot of vacation time because there's something happening in the world right now. It's kind of a secret thing.
Seriously?
Yeah.
With that much time in advance? See, that's the reason why, no offense, I wanted you to go. I want to go with you. It's just that I almost bought an extra pair of tickets thinking, okay, well, maybe Steve can go. But you are so last minute about things. I didn't want to get stuck with them.
I can never. And it's also, I didn't do it didn't matter because we didn't know a year ago, the annual. They're like, we have to, because you have to honor the annual request that you approved already. They have to honor those. They don't have to honor a request you put in now.
All right. Enough about the Foo Fighters, though. It's a week after Volk, so I'm going to have a very good week of music.
Oh, my God.
I hope you can make it, bro. But here's a more important question, okay?
Yes.
Are we going to Halloween Horror Nights or not?
We're going to Halloween Horror Nights.
Are we for sure going? Because I'm ready.
To.
Like, I would literally get online right now and buy tickets.
Now, are you okay? People that don't know, Halloween Horror Nights is you probably already know it, but it's a really cool event that they have at Hollywood or at
Universal Studios,
but also Hollywood in Florida too. They do it, but this year they're doing that whole. Are you going to buy the legit front of the line special passes? Or
the RIPs? I don't think I'm going to buy the RIPs, dude. It's been I had plans of buying the RIPs, but I just dropped a kid off in Davis and set her up for 4 years of living. And
yeah, man.
Could I? Yes. Do I want to? Probably not. I think I'm good. I really enjoyed the time that we had last time.
Well, but are you at least going to get front of the line?
If you get front of the line, I'll get front of the line.
Yeah, I may not get RIP, but I don't know because I want to be able. We didn't hit every single house last time.
Yeah, we did.
We hit most of them. We missed one.
Did we? Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure.
I think the only thing that we didn't see was and I don't know if we would have, was the Jabberwocky thing.
Oh, we would not have seen the Jabberwocky.
Yeah, and I think that's the only thing that we missed.
Really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Did we go on a weekend?
We went on no, I think it was a weekday. I want to say it was a
Friday, right?
Or a Wednesday. Something like that.
Because I know a few. I know Maj wants to go again because he said that's probably one of the most fun things he's ever experienced in his life.
It's super fun, and I really want to do it again, dude.
We're gonna do it.
We missed out on Halloween last year.
All Hallows Eve.
Yeah, we need to we're always gonna do our Halloween show. You know what I mean? The Geek Out Freak Out, but I really enjoyed that part of it a couple years ago, and I can't
the
wait.
Geek Out Freak Out's coming. Right, I mean that happened fast.
Yeah, I remember doing the thing where we were talking about our little recordings that we did,
and I was like, man, you got to write something for next year. You're like, yeah, that's so far away, and here we are.
I just haven't thought of shit yet. By the way, I'll probably do what I do. That was literally written the morning of. That's probably what I'll do.
So good. Oh, I still remember it. It was the cabin in the snow.
Yes, that's right.
Sure do.
Should have called it that. I should have called it the cabin in the snow.
No, and then he offed himself at the end.
He did.
But I don't want to ruin. Spoiler alert.
I know.
Maybe someone didn't hear it.
Wow.
Sorry.
Go back and listen to. What was it? It was two. Well, did we do? Well, yeah, that was last year, right? Because we were in the middle of COVID. We just couldn't really do any of the other Halloween stuff. We watched a shit ton of scary movies, though, which I plan on doing very soon. It's that time. Starting next week, October 1st, it's on, dude. It's going to be all I think that should just be the basis of our October. Just talking scary
your
stuff.
Boy only watches scary movies anyway. So it kind of works out that way.
Even if they're not good.
Okay, that's true. That is very... Sometimes halfway through, I'm like, well, it's that sunk cost theory. Well, I'm already all the way in. So I might as well just go ahead. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, dude, I need to know.
Yes.
You don't have to lock a date down. But I'm serious. Are you going to go?
I'm going.
Okay. The only thing because I can do midweek, which is probably going to be better unless you can't get a date because you're saying you can't get days off. But
I might have to do the whole
in October.
Shaboggles.
I think it's just a boggle the fuck out of it if I'm being honest with you. COVID. But anyway, we got basically 2 weekends I can go. I just have to find out, when so I can do that.
I'm going to, you know what I'm going to, because I don't know if because I don't think Belle's going to be able to hang. I want her to go, but she doesn't like satanic stuff. And I'm like, well then.
I already explained this, man. Satanic shit is awesome. But if she doesn't want to go, I mean, no offense. I'd love to have her there, but let's just do a repeat.
Isn't Gail going?
No, she ain't going to go.
Oh, I thought you said that she was going to go this year.
She was going to go if Belle was going to go, but it's not. She can take it or leave it.
Really?
Right now, she's kind of like, you just go do the thing.
I'm going to stay here and enjoy the house alone. Oh, no. Never mind. Not alone.
Well, she might go, she'll go to Davis that weekend or something.
Oh, that's true. They could have a mother-daughter weekend.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, beautiful things.
You know what I mean?
Right,
but I just need to know if you're going for sure.
I'm going, dude. Yes.
I'm literally prepared to buy a ticket right now.
Of course, you're always, because you have money falling out of your mouth. Yes.
No, I just got a credit card that's paid off right now.
Look at this guy! Congratulations, man.
Keeping up on my credit, man. That's okay. Trust me, I got plenty other loans and shit to worry about now, but yeah.
And still doing the house search?
No.
Okie dokie. Just wondering.
Not right now.
Now we're to some fun stuff again.
Fun stuff, indeed. Do you like what we're talking about here? Have you seen all of these?
Boom. Yes.
Okay.
Boom.
Nice.
Boom. Yes. And boom. Most.
Then in that order?
Yes. We can do it
cool.
in that order.
All right. Well, let's start it off, man.
We'll save the third for the last.
Okay. Fair enough. Take it away, man.
So, it wasn't this last week, but this last month or so, there's been what do I want to say? Because it's not it was a comic before. Anyway, a show based on a comic was released. And actually, I've been waiting for this for a long time. I never read Why the Last Man. I never read it. I have one book on it, read that one, and I wanted to continue, but I didn't. And I actually used to watch a show with a guy named Dan Trachtenberg, who was actually attached to directing this, which got me super excited. I was like, I can't wait. But then something happened where it fell through. So I was always wondering if it was going to happen. And finally, the debut of Why the Last Man, they dropped the first, 3 episodes or 2 episodes from Jump immediately. And I watched both of those. And I'm very eager to hear from you, Dan. What did you think of Why the Last Man?
I dug it. I have no familiarity with the comic. I had heard that it was a comic, and I've never looked into it. I know what you mean when you get something, even if it's good and you just put it down, you never go back to it.
Yes, dude, I meant to.
Yeah. Samuro Wikmura, that's I believe he said this is his his favorite comic ever, if I'm not mistaken.
Has he read Preacher?
Yeah, he's read Preacher. So it makes me wonder, do I need to go and buy this shit and just binge it all?
How dare he?
I know, but he's young, Steve.
How dare he?
That's what I say. I mean, still, you feel that way still? I know we're not talking about Preacher, but is it still the best?
Oh, dude. That's the difference. I read the first Why the Last Man volume.
You went this,
and I was like, I'm gonna come back. With Preacher, I read the first volume and the same day I ran looking for the second one.
Yeah, I know
the same day.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm just curious because I'm down with, I've heard people say that about Invincible. You have your preferences of what you like.
Absolutely, dude.
So anytime that someone puts that much love into something,
yes.
I really want to give it, a watch.
Absolutely.
Or a read more specifically. So, but I did watch it. I believe we're on episode 4 now, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And I'm really digging it, dude. I think it's a really interesting story. I like the character building. I'm still not entirely sure where this is going, but I enjoyed the, anything that's I don't know if you want to call it post-apocalyptic. It's
yes.
not really, I guess it's post-apocalyptic, at least for guys. That's all I'm going to say about that.
But
it's kind of in the title. You know what I mean? It's
in the title. I think it's not as crazy as it was if it would have been released 3 years ago. Now it's I can see it happening now.
Yeah, that's true. But if you would have put this out, let's say you would have put this out 5 years ago, I think it would be even bigger. Because we didn't really have that much.
No, you're totally right.
You know what I mean?
We
didn't have these edgy shows that are based on comics. Right. We didn't have a lot of them at the time. Maybe 5 years is a little bit of a stretch, but even let's go 10. It's going to be a completely different feel to it. But I'm really enjoying it, and I think the cast is great. I got this thing, bro, for Diane Lane. I don't know about you.
Really?
I've always had a thing for Diane
Lane.
Diane
Lane or Under the Tuscan Sun Diane Lane?
Well, I mean, come on, yes, but...
Must Love Dogs.
Yeah, exactly. So you clearly had a Diane Lane thing too.
Dude, I love Must Love Dogs. What are we talking about right now?
I don't know. I just think she's fine in a mug and she still looks great. But anyway, she's a great actor too. So I'm glad that she's in it. Who's your favorite character? May I ask you that?
I know what I'm supposed to say.
Okay. All right. So what are you going to say?
Right now, I'm not going to lie, dude. Right now, in watching this show.
Yeah.
All of them so far, I'm only been 2 episodes in. None of the characters have really stood out, dude. Maybe the 3rd and the 4th. Maybe it's gonna happen. Mm-hmm. But so far, I'm they're all kind of just I think maybe I'll fall in love with this show. Mm-hmm. Maybe in the 4th episode or something. But right now, I'm just from what people are saying and for what I saw, I was it's fine.
Okay, so maybe I should have. Let me go back just a second.
Yes,
okay,
yes,
because I was kind of getting there, and I sort of split things up. So, getting back to what I was saying, I'm enjoying the show. I'm enjoying the casting and everything like that. But the reason that I did ask that question, and this is the truth, I'm not just changing things up for it.
Yes,
is I'm outside of Diane Lane, who I just kind of have a thing for anyway, and even not necessarily in this particular show. I agree with you. I feel like everyone's just kind of all on the same level right now. There's no standouts. And I want to stress that again. I'm enjoying it. I do think it is an interesting plot. But that's the thing, is that I feel like I should be more interested in this show than I am. Considering the fact, again, I was breaking up my sentences, considering the fact that someone like Steven, for instance, would go so hard and say, hey, man, I believe it was Steven, would say, this is like the best thing I've ever read. I totally 100% believe him on that. I'm just wondering if it's translating to the live action. Sometimes things don't translate, and that's not to say that this is a bad show, in my opinion. I really don't think it's a bad show, and I like everyone in it. Like Olivia Thirlby, I liked her. What was she in? I liked her in Juno. I liked her in Dredd. She was in Dredd. Ashley Romans, who plays Agent 355, she's pretty good.
Fantastic.
She's great. She's good. I think they're all good. I just don't see great just yet. I think the one standout to me, and it's not necessarily because of his performance, it's more of just because the character's kind of an idiot, which is the main character, which is Yorick Brown, played by Ben Schnetzer. Like, he just does dumb shit all the time. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, to where I just go, like, that was stupid. Why'd you do that? Nothing specific, because it's still pretty new. I don't know how many people are watching it. But I would say, if you were asking me, hey, Dan, would you recommend people watch this? I would say yes. I think it is one of the more interesting shows that are on right now as far as new stuff goes. It's just that I don't know if this is a slow burn that is going to build up to a pretty nasty head that's going to explode at the end. You know what I mean? I don't know, because I have no familiarity with the story. But if someone is, like I said, again, if someone's going to go hard and be like, man, this is really, really good shit, I'm willing to believe that. And that's why I'm not out by any means.
That's my thing. What's your rating so far?
What is my rating so far? I think I'm going to go 0.5 lower than what I originally was going to, but I think I'm going to go ahead and give Why the Last Man, playing on Hulu, by the way, if we didn't mention that. I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5 missing hormone therapies.
That's a fair.
It's pretty average. You know what I mean? I think it's better than just 2.5. I think it's a little bit above 2.5. So 3 is what it's going to be.
I will give, so far from what I've seen, I will give it 2.75 random murders in an ambulance.
That was fucked up.
I don't know what that was supposed to, like, is that going to come back?
Was that a fire extinguisher?
I thought it was a like some sort of one of those pans that you put all the instruments on.
I didn't know what it was. I just saw silver flying and then a huge bloody gash.
And here's the thing, if that doesn't come back around later on, and it can't be, it comes back around of she's saying, I have something terrible. I did something terrible. And then someone's like, it was in your past life. We got to move forward. If that's all it goes, I'll be like, well, then what was the point of killing homeboy? But if there's more, if there's like, oh, this comes back around, then I'm going to be like, okay.
Well, I don't know. What episode are you on, 2?
I'm on 2.
I can tell you that there is another reference to it. Does it wrap everything up in a bow? I don't know. But she does come back to it. I'll tell you that.
So it is an important thing that happened.
It's something that is revisited. I'll say that.
Okay. I'm gonna check. I'm looking forward to seeing the rest. I don't know if I'm just and another thing we're gonna be talking about. I'm on the same thing where it's like it's fine, but I didn't get as excited as everyone is. So I'm in. I will watch the whole thing, but I'm just not where everyone else is yet. I'm
curious. Okay, it could be one of two things.
Yeah,
I'm thinking it's number 4, Steve, but don't tell me.
Okay.
All right. So you gave it a 2.75 out of 5?
Yes.
All right. That's Why the Last Man on Hulu. And what's it playing on, FX?
Yes.
Yes, you can watch it on FX or on Hulu next day. I just like Hulu. Everything's there.
They're doing their thing. Now, they're not quite on HBO Max level yet, but they're good.
That's true. But is it me or has HBO Max been slipping a little bit lately?
I think they're actually doing well. They're doing good, especially with different shows coming out, about to show up again. Yeah, I'm in, man. I'm in.
Hey, I wasn't really prepared to talk about this one, but I just thought about this right now. Have you seen a show on HBO Max called Fast Foodies?
I've never even heard of it.
Check it out. It's just these 3 chefs. It's a cooking competition, but they have different people on to judge them. So it's not like they have just one judge all the time. And you know how like a lot of these shows, you'll get people that you're watching them and you're like, well, they must be famous. But I've never fucking heard of this person, and they're acting a little too famous. You know what I'm talking about? Like those, they have a lot of those kind of guests on it. But they have they got Gata. Gata is a host on one. Basically, what the show's about is that they take fast foods, Carl's Jr., Kentucky Fried Chicken, Domino's, whatever, And they'll pick like one menu item. And then the 3 chefs, there's 2 competitions. The first round, the chefs will try to replicate that best they can for the judge. And then they're going to see which one is the best one. But obviously they're always, because they're like actual chefs that own restaurants and stuff. So they're always trying to go a little too foo-foo with it sometimes. And really what they're looking for is like the closest. So like if you get a Wendy's sandwich and it's a little bit dry consistently, if you're cooking a sandwich that's better than that, you may not necessarily win because they want it more like the actual sandwich. Does that make sense?
Okay.
It's interesting. It's good if you like that kind of shit. But the second competition, they take the same menu item and they'll like remix it basically. So now it may not be a beef item or something. It might be done with fish or something, but they try their best to like make this kind of like fancy remix of like, I don't know, take like the Western bacon cheeseburger. I don't know, just pick something. And that's what they do. They try to remix it and still have like the essence of the burger, but it's not necessarily the burger anymore. It's funner than it sounds.
I'm in. I'll check it out.
I like the guess. I think you'll dig it, man. I just, I wasn't prepared to talk about it, but it was something that we started watching. We got home last week from Davis and we just threw something on. And it's one of those shows where you just put it on. And you're thinking, oh, I'll just, whatever. I'll watch an episode. And then the next thing you know, you're like done with it. It's one of those.
I've done that before. Yes.
Yeah. Absolutely. So check it out. It's called Fast Foodies, HBO Max. Will I rate it? Yeah. Why the fuck not? I'm going to go ahead and give it I'll give it a 2.75 out of 5 chalupas, Steve. I don't even know if
I
they
used
do.
to like the chalupas.
I don't even know if they do chalupas, but they do something Taco Bell related.
That's dope. So what else have you been watching, Dan?
Dude, all right, listen. You know me in anime, right? Like we're strange bedfellows. We don't necessarily, every once in a while we might tangle in the sheets, but for the most part, we tend to stay away from each other. This is probably not going to be news to anyone, but I have fallen in love with a show that my daughter turned me on to. She was like, this was her thing. She's really into it. She wanted me to watch it with her. Because I got sick, I couldn't watch the whole thing with her. So there's 4 seasons, and I'm on mid-season 3 right now. I'll tell you the name of it in just a second, but I got to tell you that this particular show may have ruined anime for me, dude. Because
what?
Listen, I'm obviously not the authority on anime, right?
Yes.
But when I watch anime, the things that tend to stick out to me, and maybe not necessarily in a good way, are usually like dubbing. I tend to watch all of my stuff dubbed.
Yes.
Sometimes there's a lot of overacting going on with it. You know what I mean? Lots of franticness and just like
a lot of
exactly. Yeah. Why are you yelling? And
yes,
it's there, but it's not there in a bad way in this. I just think that this particular story is so well written and it's so complex, and it's one of those stories where it's like it gives me tons of like, oh shit, I have another question of what's going on, and somehow if you just take your time, every question seems to get answered. I think this sets someone's probably going to go, no, that's bullshit. It's this. But for me, out of everything I've seen so far, I think this sets the fucking gold standard for anime. And I'm not even going to go into, I know there's like different types of anime and everything. I'm speaking from a guy that doesn't watch it a lot. What I'm referring to is just a few years old, but I'm sure most people have seen it, and it's Attack on Titan. I'm watching that right now on Hulu as well. Bro, I fucking love Attack on Titan. I really think it is so dope. And it's just like, it's such an original story. I think it was written by a kid that was like 19 years old or something like that. And there's just a lot of story going on in this. And it's just, it just never seems to stop answering its own questions, which can be a problem with some shows. You know, sometimes you like, let's take Lost, for instance. And I know you didn't watch that, but we left Lost with a lot of questions. Like, we're never going to get this answered. They just closed the show down. That's it. Now I've got all these questions. So far, like with my daughter, because I try not to do that. I'll be like, well, why is this happening? Are we going to find out later? But sometimes this shit had me so intrigued, I would do that. And she would just like put her hand up and be like, it'll get answered. And sure as shit, it did. I fucking love it, dude. I love the idea of the Titans. I'm not going to say, like, for people that haven't seen it, what the Titans are, where they come from or anything, because again, you will get these things answered. I'm in the season 3 and I'm currently getting this answered right now. I guess you could say, I'll just tell you that the Titans are like these really super tall humanoids that do some serious damage. They're basically just predators, and that's all I'm going to say about them. But no, at the moment, when you first start watching it, no one knows where they're coming from. They're just this huge mystery. And the first 2 seasons, you're really focused on these Titans. Season 3 so far, I have yet to see a Titan, and it's just more about like filling in the backstory. And I think we're getting to where they're coming from now, their origin and stuff. But I'm fully into this shit, dude. I'm like hypnotized by this show. It's what I've been watching the most.
It is horrifying.
It's so good.
It is like the way that they show the sheer size of these things.
Yes.
They depict the mass of these creatures is like, oh my God, that is a humongous thing. I like it. I remember when I was watching it, I forgot who got me into it. I just heard so much about it. And I was like, man, this is the first few episodes. I'm like, it's good. But man, when they show up, bro,
They're a problem, dude.
What? There'll be times where you just see their like weird teeth through a hole. You're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And the way that they smile, and you're like, man, this is whoever made these creatures, it is really horrifying.
That's the thing. And they all look different. Some of them look like toddlers versus adults. Some of them are like there's this one hairy, have you seen that hairy beast with the small head? I have, yes. That thing's horrifying in itself, you know? But yeah, they all look different. There's different types of Titans. There's certain Titans that I won't talk about, but the way that they manifest is pretty dope. But the story, dude, the story is there though. And the characters are super intriguing. Like Hanji is fucking super like funny and interesting. You got Levi, you got Eren Yeager. I'm not going to name all the names of these characters, but like Eren Yeager, who's like kind of like the star of Attack of Titans, is kind of one of the most annoying characters ever. Yet he's super important and vital to the whole story. But yeah, dude, I'm way into this shit. Loving it.
What's your rating so far?
You know, I thought about this and I'm dead serious. I'm going to go ahead and just go full on fanboy on this shit, dude. I'm giving it 5 out of 5 bitten hands.
Holy crap.
I fucking love it. Like, it's like, I'm telling you, I think it's ruined anime for me. Send me something better than that. I'm not saying that it doesn't exist, but if you're listening, and I know there's anime fans out there, send me something better than Attack on Titan. Because I don't know if it exists, but I want to see it if that's the case. Is that anime or manga? Or, I mean, anime or that other thing they call it? That's why I said I'm not all familiar where I know all the different ones, but I think, I know they have like the manga books. So I think, is it like, I don't know. I mean, I've never claimed manga, to be. Okay. But I'm saying there's a thing between anime and there's another thing. But either way, I call everything that I watch, because I was like, oh, I love this anime. And someone's correcting me, but like, well, technically. That's what I do too. I'm sure, I'm not the authority on this. I'm not that guy. But I'm willing to be if you can find stuff that's entertaining like this. I know there's good shit out there. It's just that, I don't know, man. I have yet to see anything that has me this intrigued. Out of anything anime that I've watched, again, I'll just use that term. Anything else that I've watched like that, I have not been this intrigued on it. It's fucking beautiful. Oh, yeah. The art is like the animation itself is beautiful, but like I said, the dubbing is not bad. It's not like overacting. Now, on occasion, you'll get a little bit of it, but it's so watchable. So fucking good. That's all. I'm glad you liked it, man. I like it too. All right. So this next one is one that I'm very, very excited to hear your views on this show. Dan, we're talking about Reservoir Dogs. Tell me what you thought. Not Reservoir Dogs, Reservation Dogs. Reservation Dogs. Yeah, why did I say Reservoir Dogs? Because there's a movie called Reservoir Dogs, Steve. Oh, you know what? I'm one of the few people that didn't really dig that movie. I'm not sure if I did to this day, to be honest with you. It was fine. Like, people were going bonkers over that movie. There are some very memorable scenes in the movie, but the movie, and we're not even talking about Reservoir Dogs, but no. There are some very memorable scenes in the movie. It's not necessarily the movie as a whole. No, dude. Yeah. But anyway, Reservation Dogs. Dan, what'd you think? Comedy series about 4 Native American teenagers growing up on a reservation in eastern Oklahoma. Creators Sterling Harjo and guess who? Taika Waititi has some involvement with this. And it stars Devry Jacobs, DeFaro Wunatai, Lane Factor, and then who is the one? I got to give her credit, dude, because she's good as shit on this. Oh, yeah. Paulina Alexis, who plays Willie Jack in the show. So I kind of have a feeling by the comments that you made that you're not going to be as into this show as I am. I'll tell you right now, I really enjoyed it. But the reason that I enjoy this show is that for the most part, I believe that the writers are all Native American, and it's going to be coming season 2. That's actually going to be the case straight across the board. I really appreciate the fact that because not only is it cool that they're all, sticking together and it's, the writing group is true to what they're writing about, but it kind of is that. It's like that because when you do that, everything is real. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like all the little things like, hey, shit ass. When they say that, I grew up in Pinedale, okay? Pinedale, California. You can Google it. It's pretty depressing. But like my dad knew a bunch of Native American people. He grew up with them. So like they would always be around me as a kid. And like the way they talk and the way they joke and the way they think, this shit, dude, is just in my growing up and being around these people, it's pretty fucking spot on, dude. Like Uncle Brownie. Do you know who Uncle Brownie is on the show?
Yes.
Like, dude, there's a million Uncle Brownies in Pinedale. You know what I mean? They just the way like I don't know if necessarily the youth side of it, because like I never really saw all that. But as far as like the older characters go, like the sheriff on the show, like they all really fucking talk that way and think that way. And it's just, I don't know, man. Like, it's just when I watch it, it's like this weird blanket of comfort for me because it reminds me of being around these people as a kid, if that makes any sense.
Absolutely.
So, I just think that it's, it may not be for everyone. Like I tried turning Gail onto it and she's like, it's fine, but she didn't get a lot of the references and stuff. And that's not to say that I get every reference. It's just that it felt very familiar to me. So I could see, the way she grew up and the way I grew up are two different ways. So she didn't really have any familiarity with it. So, I don't know if this is a show for everyone. I've turned a couple people onto it and some people are like, hey, thanks. And other ones were like, yeah, it's cool, but it's fine. I know that a lot of people are raving about this and I can totally see why, but I just don't know if it's going to be for everyone. That said, I love it. I love the story. I think the characters are super intriguing. How far along are you in it? Have you seen every episode?
I'm to the episode where they visit Uncle.
Oh, you got to keep going, dude. Like, I'll just say this: your boy Bill Burr turns up.
That's what I heard.
And you know how Bill Burr just makes everything better.
Oh, dude,
that's the case with this one too. Like, I love the episode. It's a very emotional episode with Bill Burr. There is this character in the background, one of the cousins and a brother to one of the cast members, but his name is Daniel, who committed suicide. And there's always that kind of presence of him there. Like there's this sort of kind of like a depressing feeling that goes with the show, yet comedy shines through. But you always feel the presence of this character Daniel and how it affected his family and how it affected the four characters in this, the reservation dogs, basically, which are Elora Danon, Bear, Cheese, and Willie Jack. I think they're fucking great. I just I can't say enough good things about this show, dude. I know it's not going to hit everyone this way, but it's hitting me just right to where I'm actually sad. Like it's over now. Like the season finale already happened. And it just, because I was sick and binged it all so quickly, I'm getting used to watching things week to week. So to binge sometimes it makes me go, like I'm done now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely, dude.
But really, really enjoy it. As far as ratings go, I guess I'll give my rating because then you can just tell me what you think about it. What do I rate this here? I will give it a 3.5 out of 5 little Native American rapper dudes. And my Glock go blop, blop, blop. I love those guys, man.
Here's the thing. I like the show.
Mm-hmm.
I think if I would have just turned on the show and just watched it,
yeah,
I'd have been like, hey. But I think people that referred it to me, it was like, I think that's a problem with social media, though.
Everyone goes so hard about stuff.
That's the thing. They go insane over it. And which is fine because it hits you a certain way. So you're like, well, since you're human like I am, this should hit you. And when you watch it, you're like, it's good. But if I would have just stumbled upon it, but here's the thing, I wouldn't have stumbled upon it. If someone wasn't ranting and raving, I wouldn't have watched it. So it kind of is a double-edged sword. Be like, well, I have to rant and rave for you to watch it because had I not said anything, you would have never stumbled across it.
Yeah.
And so I will say I really, regardless of what I think, like, oh, it's good, it's, whatever, I love that it exists. That's my thing. I think shows like this should exist.
It needs to exist for sure.
It has to exist. And so I enjoy watching it. It's one of those shows that I put on and I do other things too, and I didn't miss anything.
Got it.
Like I'll be looking at my phone, because I'm just like,
it's not so complex that you can't be like, doing other things. You're right.
Not totally. At all. So I'll just lay down on the couch, put it on, and it's totally fun. So I think I'm gonna finish it. It's good enough for me. Like, oh, I'm definitely finishing it. But it has to exist. I love that it exists. I will rate it easily. Oh, you know what? I'll go 3.0 out of 5. Out of 5. What will I say? Out of 5 messed up stomachs from hot Cheetos. Is it Cheetos?
It was basically
or
Takis,
chips,
the spicy chips, whatever they were. Yeah.
I love that she got sick off because I do too. I love that it was such a throwaway where she's like, yeah, my stomach is. He's like, oh, and freaking Bobby Lee randomly showing up in this freaking show.
Bobby Lee is also in that Fast Foodies, by the way.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah.
Bobby Lee has stories, man. Have you listened to his podcast?
Yeah, I got opinions on Bobby Lee, though. I ain't gonna talk about it right now, but I
am shocked that you even know who he is.
I don't know if I'm feeling Bobby Lee, to be honest with you.
What?
I'm not gonna talk about it on this show. I heard one of his stories one time on a podcast. I didn't actually hear the podcast. It was a video that I was watching. It was on Twitter, and it could be out of context. Okay, so that's why I don't really want to get into it. But I never went back to it. But it was basically a story about Bobby Lee talking about how when he was younger and he was him and his boys want to go get laid, they'd go across the border, and they went to TJ, and he was telling this story about how they went into this, I guess it was like a brothel, and his whole thing was to find the youngest, scaredest looking.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? Because that's how he got off on it. Yeah. So I don't know how I feel about Bobby Lee, bro.
I mean, hey, you could still get cast in shows though.
Well, fuck. It's the United States of America.
Of course.
Yeah. You can do whatever you want.
And still
gonna be
fail upwards.
So take that Bobby Lee story with a grain of salt.
Yes.
But if you look into it, there might be something there that you don't want to see. Again, I saw it somewhat out of context where I didn't do the research on it. But I'm watching.
Not sure what context.
I'm watching
before
the man,
it started. Yeah.
I'm watching the man tell the story.
Yes.
And it didn't sit right with me. I'll just say
absolutely. Well, unless before you 2 seconds before he said, hey, do you want to hear a story that's completely fabricated and out of this world and not true?
Yes.
And then they push play. Other than that, it's a terrible story.
Yeah.
Dude.
It's and the way he tells it, it's even creepier. You know what I mean? And I was like, I don't think I like you, dude. I never really cared for Bobby Lee, but not that for any particular reason, but now I feel like I got a reason.
You know what's funny is what podcast people listen to. It's a shame. It's almost like it's not even their friend. But if someone was like, "Hey, man, I was listening to Joe Rogan," literally, my whole idea about them changed. Everything about them changes, and I'm like, "Oh, bummer!" The fact is, "Oh man, sometimes I'm just driving. I'm listening to Joe Rogan. I'm like, are you? Are you listening? Is that what you're doing?" Everything just flies out the window that I thought of this person. Because if someone is like, I'm always listening to the Bobby Lee podcast, it won't say a lot about them to me, but it will be you do know that they're other, they're actually smart podcasts.
Yeah.
And it's tough to find a comedic smart podcast, but they're there. And I would say that only watch, if you're going to watch now, I'd say now after hearing your story, just don't watch them. That's what you have to do.
I mean, I've made it a point to that's exactly what I'm going to do. But I'm also saying that, again, with the caveat of I didn't get the entire thing. It's just him talking. So it's not like he did the whole hypothetical thing. Like you said, hey, you want to hear a completely fabricated story? I know that's not the case.
No.
It's just it wasn't for me. And that's okay. I'm not going to go on a cancel campaign. But for me, I'm good without Bobby Lee.
Canceling doesn't exist.
Well, you know what I'm saying.
No, but I'm just realizing it now when I'm just
it doesn't. Of course it doesn't.
When you watch it and such and such is back on tour, you're like, I'm done.
No, cancel
culture doesn't work.
Cancel culture is complete bullshit, but I just said it for the purposes of I'm not going to try to take that avenue. I'm just like, nah, I don't need, some people, they like hamburgers, they don't want onions. I don't want any Bobby Lee. I don't want any Bobby Lee onions on my Life burger. You know what I'm saying?
Do you eat onions, G?
Yes, dude. I celebrate them. Not raw though.
They're terrible, bro.
Yeah, you just never had them all grilled up and stuff.
You know what? I haven't. I do. There has been
caramelized.
Yeah. See, there have been people that have cooked me something, and I'm like, I hate onions, and they're like, you just ate a lot of them. I'm like, really?
I always cook with onions, dude. Hey, real quick, before we go to the last one, I just don't want to forget to talk about this because I really wanted to know what you thought, and this is going to show how long it's been since we've talked. What are your thoughts on Norm Macdonald?
Oh, man. It's complicated.
Oh, okay. I'm glad I asked then.
It's very he has a very and we should be able to talk about this stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Where, when someone dies, they're automatically a saint.
Right. No, that's not the case at all.
Yeah. And he had, there's things coming out about him having sexually harassed women, and the women were like, the club.
Oh, really? God damn it.
Yeah,
really?
and they're like, the clubs had to change certain things about him to protect the women. They had to change the way that they did certain things.
Steve, why did I ask this
he's
question?
made, like everyone, like even Eddie, he's made a lot of jokes about, being gay is weird. And I'm like, and so even though I think he was super duper funny, there's also the other side where I just can't be like, he was a saint among men. It's a complicated thing. But again, that voice, that was a big, anyone that does, so I was going, right? Anyone that does that thing, I'm like, oh, and it's more common than you think. You're like, oh, you got the way you do your thing, a lot of it comes from Norm Macdonald. Because I remember him in SNL. Way back then, I remember being like, oh, this guy is very, very different.
He went hard and got fired because he went hard on OJ.
You got to give him props.
Norm's like, stop talking about OJ. And he's like, nah, fuck that. I'm not gonna do that kind of thing. Why would I not talk about OJ? And he just like every single time he would figure out a way to like work in an OJ is guilty. That's the punchline of the joke. And it was brilliant.
Yes, dude. And you gotta, my thing, I think a big thing is, what got me about the story is, man, cancer is a beast.
Yeah. And he did it silently, dude.
Silently,
like I don't know who was more silent, him or say Bozeman.
Dude. No one knew about either one.
Yeah. Well, if you look at Norm towards the end, he was looking very puffy. And that sometimes comes with age. Like, it could be age, it could be alcohol, it could be steroids.
Yes.
It could be a lot of things from treatment, which, makes sense. With Bozeman, you're like, oh shit, does he know he's sick? Because he was looking pretty bad,
Dude, it was, and I think this has been, and maybe it's because we're stuck inside, where people are just like, man, people are like just dying.
Yeah.
I'm like, I think it's more because we aren't as active as we were before. And so we are on Twitter, because a lot of times I'll think, whatever happened to such and such actor? They're like, oh, they died 2 years ago. Now we don't miss that. We see it on Twitter immediately. So it's like, everyone's dying. But like, no, everyone was always dying. You just found out about it a year later. Yeah. And we're like, oh, such and such passed away when? Last year. Jesus. You know what I'm saying? But now we're seeing it in real time.
Yeah.
And it is nuts that it shows that we're aging.
Yes. Well, I've been dealing with that for a while. It just gets worse and worse, Steve. I'm telling you.
It's pretty nuts, dude. It's like we're getting. It's funny because this week during Muay Thai, a guy, I guess he's a nurse, and so he wanted to give us a little seminar on, hey man, you got to start. He want to, like, everybody comes in here and I see guys wrapped up and taped up. We need to tell you how to really take care of injuries. And one of the things at the end was like, once you hit your 40s, perhaps you wanted to start taking some steroids. And I was like, I'm sorry. I am that age. And he looked at me, he's like, yeah, your testosterone, you need to get your testosterone checked, because if it's too low, you're going to have to start taking steroid injections. I said, Jesus Christ.
Take that with a grain of salt, because it could be, no, seriously, because like, I'll just be honest. Like, I went and had a physical done and blood work, and it came back like, well, you're, for your age, your testosterone's a little bit low. And that started fucking with me mentally.
Yes.
Like, okay, did I just get upset watching this movie because my testosterone's low? Things like that. But a lot of those things can be contributed to diet, how you're sleeping, the amount of vitamin D you're getting, being outside, stress levels. There's all kinds of stuff. So I don't know if you necessarily just need to be jumping into steroids.
That's about, here's what he said. He's like, you're around, the normal level is like 275 to 900.
Yeah.
He said a lot of doctors would be like, yeah, you're right in the same range. But what you find out is like, you're at 300. He said, perhaps you want to push it to 9, like when you were young again.
Then you're going to be like, fuck, bro. Everything's going to be like, hey, motherfucker, did you just cut me off? The fuck you looking at? That's going to be what happened if I did that shit. And then I'm not going to do it.
I'm definitely going to get blood work, and I want to at least be at 800, G.
Are you literally going to take steroids, bro?
If I find out my testosterone is low, I'm going to take the shots, G. No question.
No.
Like, it's not even a question.
I know, you know what? I know people go different ways with that. Just be careful. Just do it right.
Absolutely.
I know some people do it quote unquote right, but I see so many people doing it wrong, and they just turn all weird colors and they get angry.
Oh, dude, they get. And my thing is, I would take a break from sparring for a while. I'd be like, am I in the mental?
Yeah, like what's going to happen is you're going to get stuck, and then you're going to get pissed off,
dude.
And then you're going to do that thing like little kids do when they're just play fighting, and then it turns into a real fight.
Then I just go nutso, and Crew's going to be like, what in the absolute hell?
I don't know, bro.
Is wrong with you?
What the fuck's wrong with me, bro? Why are you fucking taking that tone? Crew's going to be like, no.
You got to go. Yeah. No, and the thing is, I want to be where, you know what, though? You know what? Maybe I shouldn't be. Maybe this is part of age being like, the reason that you come to terms with mortality is because your testosterone starts lowering.
Let me ask you a question. I'm not even being silly about this.
Yes.
Do you wake up in the morning with a substantial erection?
Sometimes.
But like,
not all the time.
No, yeah, okay, fair enough. We are in our 40s, but I mean, for the most part, yeah.
I don't have it. Not really for the most part. It's just like, but the thing is, I'm like, you're like here's in my opinion, every guy's a horny toad. All I have to do is like hug Belle, and I'm just like, hello.
See, that's my thing. It's like, I'm going to be 49 in a couple of months, and it's like, it's not slowing down, bro.
But maybe at 900,
it takes a crowbar to get that fucker off my belly button sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm thinking. But I think that way, and I'm like, but what would it be at 900, G?
I don't know. It might be
That's
bad.
what I'm saying,
because you know, it's. I think with couples, you kind of have to try and stay level. You know, I'm just putting numbers out there.
No, you're right.
I'm just putting numbers out there, and I realize we're talking estrogen and testosterone. But if you're at a 9 and she's at a 3, you might have issues.
And I want to make sure, because what I've been told is they're like, steroids only amplifies your personality as it is. He's like, he said, the reason that you see roid rage is because think of the people that use it. They're already douches a lot of the time. And that just amplifies their douchiness. He's like, if you're a cool guy, all it's going to do is, you know, now you're, you know, things are, he said, but also look, he did tell me, he's like, look online and see if you don't have any symptoms of lower testosterone, don't even get checked, because you don't even want that in your head. If you're good, just be good. Well, but if you go in there and get checked and see that number, you're going to be like, wait a minute.
Dude, see, it scared me because, I mean, I have no problem talking about it. And if you've been listening to this show long enough, then you were kind of living it with me. But back in 2018, at the end of 2018, when I lost my job and I was unemployed for a while, which it was when we went to Halloween Horror Night, Steve. That was the year.
I remember that.
And I was just having some trouble finding work and stuff. And I fell into a legitimate depression. Yes. And I was crying and shit. And like, I'd be watching, I remember it was Christmas. I was a real blast on Christmas Day. I remember watching Home Alone, waiting for my family to get ready so we can go to my mom's. And I'm just crying watching Home Alone. Like, Jesus. And I was under the impression, like, cause I did go get, like, prior to that, I did get a blood work done. And they were saying, yeah, you know, your hormone, your testosterone's just a slight bit low. So that started fucking with me. I'm like, okay, is that what's going on? And it wasn't that. Sometimes it's just chemical, you know, just be careful is what I'm trying to say. Be careful.
Absolutely. If I start taking shots, I would I don't know. I would probably just tell Belle, like, hey, keep an eye on how my mode, you know, how I'm grooving, because
she's like, you know how you just said "a bitch" to me to call me? Yeah, you should probably stop taking it. Steve just while we're talking to everyone you see, stupid bitch. Look over there, stupid bitch.
Yeah, if I switch up like that, Jay, but I do want to know my testosterone level. Yeah. I do want to know my testosterone level.
When we get into our 40s,
at our place?
Yes, at our place. But when we get into our 40s, I think it's important that you do that.
Absolutely. I'm 43, dog.
Yeah, I know. I'm aware.
It's time, man.
I'm finally starting just to admit my age now. I don't give a shit anymore.
Dude, you're young still.
But it's the number's high. You know what I'm saying?
Compared to who? What do you mean?
I could be some of our listeners' dad is what I'm getting at.
I could be... yeah, I talk to people. I be talking to people like, how old are you? I'm 22. I'm like, I could be your father.
Seriously.
It's crazy. Be your father.
It's crazy.
No question. Yeah, we're there now, dude.
Yeah.
We're there. Very strange. The people that are older, like one dude at the gym, I was like, hey, man, what year were you born? He's like 2003. I said, Jesus Christ, dude. Why shouldn't even be this ring with you? You absolute child.
When my boss is younger than me, it gets weird.
Is your boss younger than you?
Yeah, you know my boss.
No. I was thinking your boss.
I would say
no.
Nah, but they ain't that much older than me.
He made it bad anyway. Yeah, but they're only a few years.
Yeah,
They'll be like,
yeah.
that's still older.
Yeah, if I'm gonna have to hang out with somebody, it's probably gonna have to be them.
I mean, dude, age is a funny thing. And
It
you know
really
what's
is.
the interesting thing about the whole thing is while the show we're about to talk about, it made me think, would I let that happen to reverse? To be like, hey, let's go back to where you look the best.
Yeah, I like how they do that because it's when we'll talk about it, of course, but it's when you do that particular thing, you're going back to, how is it put? To your peak you.
Dude,
you
come
at
on,
your
man.
peak.
At
Dude,
your, and you,
me at
you
my
just
peak.
have to give up some
you,
things.
You got to look out. Me at my peak, bro.
Listen.
Look, look and listen.
Oh.
I would do it. I would.
Oh.
If I could get back to my
can't-
peak,
no.
I would do it.
Never a. We can't even. Okay, before we review this show.
Oh God, it's
what
so new.
can we say?
That's the thing. Okay, listen. Before we talk about it, we will say what it is. Got to understand that we get screeners. So we have. When did you watch this?
I watched it like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. So, I watched it all last week, but it's been there for a while. And you were the one that pointed it out to me because sometimes we'll get, like when you get the Netflix screeners, sometimes, just like if you're looking on Netflix, you'll hover over something and then you'll see a trailer for it or something. You'll see what the logo looks like. This was just a black box with the words in it.
Sure was.
With no explanation. Go in blind and see what happens.
And I randomly pushed play.
Yeah. And I'm glad you did. I'm really fucking glad you did.
Holy crap.
But see, the thing is, today is the 25th of September. This just came out on the 24th. So we don't want to
Oh, yeah, no one knows anything, dude.
Well,
nothing.
I mean, we can totally spoil the shit out of this, Steve, but we just have to put spoiler warnings at the top. Because there are certain things that I mean, honestly, I really would like to talk about this, and I don't care about spoiling this as long as people know before they listen to this review that we're going to.
Okay, I will say, people, if you have not watched the complete show.
Do not listen to this review if you haven't watched the entire thing. Yes.
The entire thing. Not, I watched 2 episodes. I kind of know where. No, you do not.
No, you don't. You don't. You dumb shit. Don't do it.
So stop listening right now if you have not watched all of Midnight Mass.
Yes.
By Mike Flanagan.
Yes.
On Netflix. Do not continue.
The creator of House on Haunted Hill, Mike Flanagan.
Which wasn't great.
I liked the first one. You're right. It wasn't great, but I liked the first one. Second
it wasn't
one,
this.
The Haunting of, what was it? No, The Haunting of Hill House is what it was.
Yes.
The other one, the one in
Bly
between.
Manor.
Fucking sucked. I hated that one so much. This by far is his best work.
Oh,
by
God.
far.
And here's the thing, though. If he showed pictures, they're like, how long has he been working on this? There are pictures of like screenshot of his other shows that says Mass on a book.
Yeah.
And Midnight on another. Like he said, I have been working on this idea.
Right.
And you could tell. You could tell.
If I'm not mistaken, I want to say his whole involvement with this is roughly 10 years old.
Dude, that is so long, dude, to work on one idea.
Right. And he has background in the church, which makes this more, because there's a lot of Catholicism in this show.
Oh,
tons of Catholicism.
Let me tell you something. This would work. This would totally work. Make no mistake. There is not a piece of this thing that would not work in every church across the nation.
See, Gail used to go to church all the time when she was a kid. I've been to Catholic church. I just didn't go, I almost said religiously, but you know what I'm saying.
I like that. Yeah, nice.
But it's just so perfect. It's just so fucking perfect how they do everything perfectly. Dude. That's the thing about this show. And that's where I think that the love comes into this. Now, that's not to say that I don't have some hangups with this show, Steve.
Tell me, I would want to hear the hangups first.
Do you though?
I do. I really do, G.
Well, I think we should talk about all of the good.
Okay, let's talk about the good.
And then we can kind of go, we can maybe you can convince me otherwise.
Because let me tell you something, dude. This is probably going to be my favorite show of the year.
I would have to okay, I'm just going to say this. There are 7 episodes.
Jeez, yes.
And 6 of them, in my opinion, were 5s across the board. I have issues with episode 7.
Oh, interesting. You know what? Now I'm very interested in what you're going to say about it.
There were some tropes in it that really, I was like, really? And honestly, I didn't give any, because like when things are on, oh my God, I just forgot the word. What's it called when we can't talk about it?
Oh, embargo.
Thank you. When things are on embargo, I really don't like share any information.
No.
But on occasion, like in our group, for instance, I'll be like, hey, listen, I just watched this whole thing and you motherfuckers need to watch this. And the only one that was hip to it was Melissa. She was like, oh, you lucky bastard. She didn't say that, but she's like, I've been waiting to see this show. And I said that I've seen the entire show. What I didn't realize, because I stopped at episode 6 originally. Yes. I thought, and it really, if you take episode 6, it could end right there.
Totally.
There would be, but it would be more like, oh, okay, we're getting in like a season 2 or something like that. But in episode 7, it pretty much closes everything up. I just didn't realize there was an episode 7. So when I saw this, I'm just saying this for Melissa, because like if she's listening, I was like, yes, it's fucking brilliant. I have issues with episode 7. I did not know that it existed when I said that. So what I'm saying that is for is if she's like, well, episode 7 blew. Yeah, I'm kind of with you on that.
So, I loved episode 7. I liked episode 7.
Okay. Let's see. Steve, you want to go ahead and give the premise of the show?
So the premise of this show, spoilers.
Big time spoilers. Sorry, big time spoilers. So if you have, again, we're going to say it again. If you have not seen Midnight Mass in its entirety, wait until you listen. Just watch the whole thing and then come back.
And the thing is, I wouldn't even look up. Don't even look up
nothing up. Just go in blind.
All right, so the synopsis is: the arrival of a charismatic priest brings miracles, mysteries, and renewed religious fervor to a dying town. Actually, that's really good.
Yeah.
I gotta give him props. I think Mike Flanagan was like, this is what I want you to write, and nothing more.
Don't jack this up.
Here's the thing. So the priest, this town, number one, is in my brain, I'm like, oh, I would love to live in this town until you start meeting everybody. There's a really, really cool thing they do with the sheriff that I think is really slick. Instead of saying it's played by Raul Coley, and instead of saying that the place is racist, the first guy calls him Sharif instead of sheriff.
Yeah,
dude, that is so brilliant. You don't need to say anything more than that. Yeah. That's it. Uh-huh. And you know, oh, okay, I get where this whole town is going. And when I'm watching it, the thing is, part of me just wanted to be like, let me turn this off because it's kind of boring. But I love Zach Gilford. I loved him from Friday Night Lights, dude. He was good on that show. So when I saw Zach Gilford, I was like, oh, I'm in. This is going to be fantastic. I like Katie Siegel. I've seen her in a few things. So immediately, the thing that latched me on to this show is when Homegirl gets out of her wheelchair. That's when I was like, wait.
Mm-hmm. What are we dealing with here?
Exactly. I was like, whoa. What am I thought I was watching a soap opera about a town. I was like, oh yeah. But then when she gets up out of her seat, I said, oh, this isn't wait a minute. Yeah. This is a horror show.
Yeah. Well, let me play off that just for a little bit, because like you said, you thought it was about an entire town.
Yeah.
But then, you know, the first episode, I'm thinking it's going to be revolved around this one particular character played by Zach Gilford. His name is Riley Flynn, who, again, spoilers, and I won't really give too much of it, but basically this guy, he was part of this town. I think the population's roughly it's like an island, really. You have to get there by ferry. Population of like 100 plus. Really not a lot of people on there. Everyone knows everyone's business. And this kid was actually part of the church. He was not a choir,
altar boy.
Altar boy, thank you. It was an altar boy and I don't mean anything weird when I say this, but he had a pretty good relationship with the Monsignor. The Monsignor knew him well, grew up with him in the church and all that. This guy goes away, leaves the island, and he becomes like maybe a .comer, something like that. Or, he made a lot of money, kind of lived the douchebag life, throwing his money around. And the show starts off, the very first scene basically is him. He's killed someone in an accident. He was drunk driving and he killed this girl. And it starts off, he ends up going to prison for 4 years. And trust me, I'm really not ruining anything when I say this. But during that time, I'm taking this as nightly, he's haunted by the vision of the girl that he killed.
Yes.
So, I'm thinking, okay, so is this like a ghost story? this is going to be about him. You wouldn't go that hard on one character if it's not going to be about him.
Yes.
And for quite a while, that's sort of the case. I mean, he's basically the center of the show. And then something happens, and that's not the case anymore. But it all still works very well. As to,
totally.
His character served his purpose for the rest of the show to go on.
Exactly. That's the important thing. Like, I was like, you know what? Mike Flanagan was like, I'm not going to just string him along so he can be the lead character. If his character has served his purpose, maybe it's time.
Right.
For whatever happens to happen. And truthfully, in that scene, I was thinking, oh no. Is it taking over his being so much that the girl that he loves is in danger? And when he's like, that's not why I brought you out here, I was like, oh my God. Is he? Oh my, and I saw the light coming. I said, oh my God. He's like, I did it so I couldn't run. Dan, come on.
Man,
dude.
There are so many aspects of the show that just make it awesome. I mean, even like Henry Thomas as an older father, like,
which is crazy, mind you.
Never seen. I mean, Henry Thomas has been with oh God, I just forgot his name. Mike Flanagan. Sorry, Henry Thomas has been with Mike Flanagan pretty much for all of the series that he's done on Netflix so far.
Mm-hmm.
But he plays him. I don't know. There's just something about the way he plays the character of Ed Flynn in this. And
he made me feel old knowing that Henry Thomas is now a dad.
Yes.
Like, I'm like, what?
And I'm like, how much of that is makeup and how much of it isn't?
Oh, probably none, bro.
Yeah, man.
We're all that age, man.
Yeah. But there's just so much. Like Kate Siegel also has been in I believe she was in the House of Bly Manor. And then there's a lot of people that you're going to recognize in this, but they all just play this. Like each character is so interesting in this show.
Oh, it's do you know what the priest's real name is? You're gonna laugh. I thought this name was retired.
Hamish. Is it Hamish? Hamish Linklater.
That is a retired first name, dude. He was a child named Hamish.
Yeah, I know. I was just about to bring him up though. Like I was going there because
dude.
The first time you see him in his first scene and the way he plays like the Monsignor that comes to town to replace the former Monsignor. I'll let you find that part out. We won't spoil everything for you. But he comes to town to replace the former Monsignor who has left. He's had some mental issues and he's just away on vacation is what we know. This guy comes in to replace him. And his very first scene,
dude.
You just go, oh, this is the dude that's selling the show right now. Like, he is so fucking good as Father Paul in this.
So good.
So good. Like
perfectly showing you that something's off. He's acting normal. He's too normal.
He's too good. Like there's just, from the get-go, you're like, man, you wowed me so quickly. I feel like I just went to one of those like motivational speaking things or something. Like you just hooked me in and I'm totally buying what you're selling.
For me, I didn't only because he said, he's really sick. And anyway, like he brushed right over. I was like, wait a minute.
Well, yeah,
something's off.
Yes, but I'm saying like the charisma this man has, the way that he's able to because when he comes to the church and he starts service, there's just a handful of people in church. But as time progresses, we find out that this Father Paul, there's a lot more to him that meets the eye.
Dude.
And through Father Paul, some pretty amazing things is happening. And Steve already said one. So one of those things would be that a young girl who was in a wheelchair due to an accident that they do talk about in the show. She's been paralyzed. She's a paraplegic. She is now able to walk. And the way that scene happens, like the town hates him. The church is so like, who the fuck is this guy? Why are you doing that to her? And because he keeps backing up. No, get up. And then when she stands, like all that just works so well.
Dude, amazingly. And you're sitting there wondering, like, in the beginning, I said, how is he such a good preacher at such a young age? It seems like he has years under his belt.
Yeah, he's way wiser than his years.
Dude.
Yeah.
The way that they do, you're like, oh, come on, this is great.
And then,
great, dude.
So then you find out that there's definitely a horror aspect to this show. And at first, I really wasn't sure what that aspect was. Now, let me ask you, Steve, because it's like episode 2. Did you know right away where we were going when you get that flying overhead scene?
No.
I was like, okay, I think I know where we're going now. At least I know because there's an issue with these cats that are turning up on the shoreline. There's like not just a couple of dead cats, like hundreds of dead cats that are all lined up on the shoreline. And you kind of, it leads you to think that there's some type of predatory monster on this island. And maybe there is, maybe there isn't. But when they do this one scene where it's like you see the point of view of the, I guess the antagonist, I guess I could say that, or one of the antagonists in this show, I knew right away where we were going with this. And that's not a bad thing. I just figured it has to be that. It has to be something. And it's either, if it's not what it ends up being, then it's something extremely close to that, like a gargoyle or something. You know what I mean?
I didn't know until the cave scene.
Now, dude, that was so good. Dude. Like the story that Father Paul tells.
Oh my God.
And I'm not even going to say what it is, but it's just, there's, I mean, can we say? I guess we said spoilers.
It's horrifying, dude.
It's like I don't.
Really I would want even. It's just horrifying.
When I say spoilers with this particular review, like I just want to be able to talk about certain things that we need to talk about, but I don't want to break the entire thing down for you as the listener, because it quite frankly would ruin some things for you. So if you're this far and you haven't watched it, that's on you. But just letting you know,
it's horrifying, dude. And you do know that I think I ran into the most. I would say in my top 10 most hated characters on television. I hated her.
Oh my God. But how
hated
good,
her.
But how good, you're talking about Samantha Sloyan, who plays Bev Keane.
What a great performance.
Such an antagonist.
I hated her, dude.
Yeah, it works really well. Like she's in that I hate you instantly. Like, did you ever see Porky's? I know it's not the same kind of show.
I never saw Porky's, no.
Okay, well, there's a character in there named Beulah Ballbricker. She's like that. She's that one person that all the bad shit is happening when she's around. You've seen this character. That's not taking away from her character, but you've seen this type of character in many movies where it's like, it's the one person, usually like a church going, very heavily in the church, that's going to try and shut down anything good, essentially. She's that character, but in it with a spin. I'll just say that. Super dark, super mysterious. You just know, like she's mysterious all the way up until the end for the most part.
Absolutely.
You know,
absolutely.
And you're led to sort of believe, at least I was, because again, I watched 6 out of the 7 episodes thinking I was done. I was truly led to believe that we were going to get a season 2 and she was going to be even more prominent in this. And I don't see how that's possible now, considering episode 7. Like, I think I think we're done. I think it's just one and done.
Unless, because I was like, oh, we never know if someone makes it off the island, but once someone can't feel certain things, I'm like, oh, it didn't. That means that it didn't make it. So I think Mike Flanagan's probably just saying, yeah, this is the story I wanted to tell, and I've told it now. Let's move the hell on to it. But then again, if we're in a universe where these things exist, maybe there's another story of another one somewhere else.
Now that would be cool, because I mean the original the one that started this whole thing had to come from somewhere.
Absolutely. Dude.
So maybe they could go back and do like a prequel or something. But it's honestly, this thing is so good that you should just leave it alone and just don't fuck with it anymore. Like it's just this wonderful story that has its own place and things. And maybe the universe doesn't need to be continued all the time.
My thing is, I don't even want, like, when I was done with this show, I just sat there for a while. I turned it off and I was like, now that is how you do a show like this.
See, I was so
okay. Now tell me now tell me what didn't you like?
I was so convinced that you were going to say that it didn't stick the landing. So convinced, because I think to me what it was like I enjoyed everything that was going on. Like the episode 6 and 7, 6 ends with, and then it starts with basically the decimation of this particular little town that we're talking about. And I'm not going to say how, but like everything's going down in this town. And I enjoyed that part of it. I found there's a love story that happens where there's like 2 lost loves that find each other.
Yes, absolutely.
Does that work?
Yes.
Okay. Their whole change of heart and then their relation to a certain character.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, really? Like, I thought it was too contained. It was too contained. And I don't even know necessarily if like that was like intentional. Like was that all part of the deal? Like did he go back specifically for her? excuse me. Was it that? Was it, I don't know, but it's like the conversation that these two have in the church where they just, everything kind of just flips and they go from being, going with the way things are supposed to go according to plan. And I'm really trying to be cryptic here. They completely flip it and they find the error in their ways and everything.
Well, no, the thing that flipped him was he had a plan. And then the homegirl totally switched the plan. He said, you let them out?
Well,
then he realizes, remember he saw the people with the bright eyes? He's like, oh, no, we're the monsters, dude. Did you know? Like, look at that. Does that look to you like the good guys? And I'm like, oh, Mike Flanagan did such a good job of being like, look at them coming through the dark. And he looks at her and is like, does that look like the good guys to you? If you saw that.
I guess when you put it that way, I understand. But it's like, he had an agenda too.
No question.
And he just thought that this was all, from what I understand, he just thought this was all in the name of the Lord.
Absolutely. Because when you're in that, everything, because they said everything works for the good of those that love the Lord. So that means if this is happening, God sent him to make this happen. It wasn't until the end where he's like, oh, no. It's all not true.
But the thing that got me was that, like, he's progressive. He's getting more and more aggressive, right?
Yes.
And like, he even the way his, because he goes from being this fantastic delivery of the sermon to just going like, welcome to the army of God. We're about to do some really good, like he becomes more direct with things. And,
absolutely.
More arrogant. So I'm thinking, okay, I see the way this is going. And even though this is according to his plan, it's still wrong, right? But yet it's like all of a sudden he gets morals because it wasn't done the way he wanted to. That's what bugged me. That's what bugged me about it.
I think it was one of those things where it's he didn't think that the people were going to just when he's thinking, okay, we're all going to do it like because he doesn't eat people.
Yeah.
And so he's like, we all can be like me.
He does though.
But he did end up doing it. And he's like, well, then we have to keep all these people inside.
Yeah.
And when that doesn't happen, he's like, oh, we're the bad people. Yeah, we need to, we're the bad folks. We need to call, I totally, especially with the super religious people.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, you know how long it would take for you to believe that God didn't send this amazing angel to you?
Right.
It wouldn't even happen like this. Even till the time he died, he'd believe it. They're like, well, let's make it so that he does change his mind. In reality, Doug, look, we have some people that think the vaccine has a microchip that will track us.
It does, dude.
Absolutely.
Come on.
You think if they saw a flying winged thing on your quote unquote, and you see miracles happen, you wouldn't think that this was it's over. And all of this, that's what's so scary. I'm like, if there are these things, I could literally hold their hand and take them to the right place and be like, they will believe everything you say.
Yeah, you know what? Honestly, and I don't know if it was intentional, but I do think it is a very good time to put something out like this that deals with a cult of personality.
Absolutely, dude.
You know what I mean?
Question.
Like, I think if we were ever going to relate to something like that, I'm sorry, folks, but politics is everywhere. But if we were ever going to just relate to something like that, now would be a good time. I don't think it was unintentional that that's the case.
Oh, no. And here's the scary part. He saw this 10 years ago.
Right.
He was like, oh, people are crazy. And the thing is, here's how crazy it is. A certain thing walked into the church and people were like, oh, wow. No one was like, wait a minute. The only two people were like, wait a minute.
And you know what I liked about that thing? First of all, it looked scary as shit. Like it's
as crap.
So well done. And like there's a part where that thing gets his. I'll just say that. It has to deal with a knife and some wings and stuff like that. That was a really cool scene. But what I really enjoyed about that is that, again, this is a kind of a major spoiler, but this thing is being presented to the churchgoers as an angel. Okay. And Father Paul truly sees this thing as an angel because he was sort of anointed by it. Mm-hmm. And I'm really trying to be vague about this.
Absolutely.
But when you think about it, you see pictures of like the Bible and stuff like that, particularly like in Christian culture, and the angels have wings and the angels are humanoid. You know what I'm saying? And
yes.
technically, this could have been an angel.
No, dude.
You know what I'm saying?
Question.
Yeah, he's like,
yes.
I'm seeing this as a blessing from Christ because this guy has so much faith, being that he's a Monsignor, and he has so much faith in Christ that when this thing comes to him and anoints him with a power as he sees it, why wouldn't it be an angel? It's kind of brilliant.
Exactly.
It's kind of brilliant.
There are stories in the Bible where the people, they saw an angel of the Lord and they were frightened.
And they were scared. Yes.
No question. And so they're like, yeah, you guys are going to be scared. But they're obviously in a church. They're like, I'm not going to be scared. I know an angel when I see one. And so it's like, okay, they did the whole Eddie Murphy. I know a freaking Bigfoot when I see one. God. I know an angel when I see one. This is and even when the thing does this amazing move where he, or it, takes someone outside real quick, they're all still totally in.
Yeah.
They're like, oh yeah. This makes total sense.
Must have been one of the bad ones.
Dude, I'm telling you, man, everything, I had to sit there and think, and it's like, thank goodness, hopefully these things aren't a real thing.
Yeah.
Because, man, are there some people that would gobble it up, hook? Oh, no. Let me tell you. We're done, dude. If this thing came, it would be enough people to gobble it up that we would just be devoured.
Oh, yeah. In a fucking New York minute, dude, for sure.
It would be so quick.
For sure. Yeah. The other thing I want to say real quick about the last episode that got me was the whole group singing thing.
Oh, yeah.
I just was like, now I'm going to say this one thing. Remember, I was just saying earlier on the show that I was having an issue where I was having trouble breathing when I was in Sacramento. Yes. That was literally when it was happening. I was dealing with I'll just call it asthma. I was thinking I might need to go to the hospital, but I was watching that episode as this was going down. So maybe that took me out of it a little bit, and Gail was dealing with me, because he was thinking, oh shit, I'm going to have to take him to the hospital. But when that happened, we were both like, motherfucker, because we were so into the whole series. We personally felt like that episode takes a shit. Now, I'm not saying everyone, including you, like obviously you don't agree with us on that.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
But I think that it was going, put it this way. If it wasn't for episode 7, I would give this a 5 out of 5. I have to drop it to a 4 out of 5 because of episode 7. But that's not to say that I'm right about this. And I think you are doing yourself a disservice if you do not watch Midnight Mass. It is so fucking good. And I agree with Steve, regardless of, do I agree with you? I have to say it's at least top 3. I'll just say that. It is in the top 3 brand new original series that I've seen this year. There's nothing like it that I've seen this year. It's so original, and it takes something that a lot of people already liked. For instance, the whole Flanagan series of like the House on Bly Manor, House on Haunted Hill, whatever those are called, Haunting of Hill House. It takes that, but it actually perfects it this time. And it gives, maybe it's just because we're sort of partial to the, I'll just say the antagonist, the bad person, the monster, if you will, in this show. I think Steve and I are kind of partial to this kind of thing. But this, from the fucking art, like on the poster, dude, this show just grabs you. And I'd have to say this is definitely our pick of the week, dude. Like, it's just so fucking good. I just have a little problem with the last episode.
Understandable.
That's it.
But I wasn't at 5. Like, for me, in order for you to get a 5, it would have to be, like I said, I mean, it's right underneath Avengers level. You have to be at 5 is right before you hit.
I'm telling you straight up, and I'm not going personally. I know I go high sometimes, but for this, we were so involved with this show that it just would have taken the ending of that we liked, and I would have had no problem giving it a 5. As it is.
Wow.
No, seriously.
I don't think I've ever given a show a 5.
I know you tend to be a little less generous. I will admit that. Maybe
but
I'm
I would give this show, no question, a 4. A 4 out of 5. Ooh, that gives something away. A 4 out of 5 Dawn boat trips.
All right.
That's what I'll give it. Fantastic. Everybody watch this thing. Well, no, I shouldn't be telling you this, because if you made it this far, you watched the whole thing.
We've essentially ruined it for you if you haven't. And we could have gone so much harder on spoilers too. Dude. So much.
And that's why I'm telling people to watch it as quick as you can, because Twitter is so stupid.
Yeah, people are going to really like this show, and you're going to get spoiled very quickly.
No, they're going to say, hashtag midnight mass and show a picture of the thing.
Yeah.
Question.
I could
dude.
say by Monday. Or you'll see the thing, as we're calling it. You'll see the thing with like me doing this. You know how they do those stupid memes sometimes?
Oh, for sure.
You know, it'll be something like that. And then you're going to get ruined. So you got to watch this as soon as possible. Seriously. It's that good.
And I would also think, I should have looked up who did the effects. Because that wasn't a CGI. Like that effect was really well done. It was like a costume of some sort. I'm impressed. And I was like, man.
Lots of practical effects on that. Yeah.
Oh, dude. Because it had like weight. When it was on somebody, I was like, oh my God. This is like a weighted something that's on. And I thought it was also, here's what I've never seen. What Katie Seagal does to someone, I'd never seen someone do that in another movie. I'm like, yeah, why don't they do that? Because it definitely takes away some aerodynamic abilities. That was really smart, dude.
Yeah, I regretfully kind of touched on that, but I didn't say too much. But yes, what she does,
dude.
And that's what I was saying, like, getting back to the whole like angel thing. Like I could see that as an angel because they did in fact have those things. But who would have thought to do that?
I wouldn't have. I would have just died.
Yeah. I guess this is it. Good luck.
I know.
Good luck.
I got
y'all.
a knife. That's all I got. I don't know what to do with it, though.
There's a good chance that I might be hunting y'all in just a few minutes. So,
oh, dude, listen, bro.
Good luck.
Let me tell you something. Some bad news. If your boy had this situation, everybody needs to run.
Yeah.
Because what I'm not going to do is be like, I guess I must die a morally correct person. I'd be like, if you're not related to me, you are what they call a chicken dinner.
Yeah. If I find out I got one day to live, you motherfuckers better look out. That's all I'm saying.
Dude, listen. And also, I think one thing, a certain death wasn't satisfying enough for me. I wanted a certain death to be brutal, dude. You're thinking about her.
Oh, well, no, I wasn't actually.
Oh, never mind.
Okay. All right.
Or the girl that I hate.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It was realistic. That's what would have happened. That's the reality of what would have happened. And I like that Mike Flanagan was like, let's torture her. And he didn't say, let's just do this whole. He's like, no, this is how it would just.
Yeah. I thought you were referring to a certain thing that takes place on the water. And I'm thinking, damn, dude, I thought that was a lot. I thought they did a pretty good job with that one, actually.
That actually broke my heart.
Yeah. It was a really, you're just not expecting it. You know, you're like all. I said, you're expecting things to go a certain way with the show. And you're like, oh, well, I guess we're doing something different now. But thank you for that. Because it was one of the more moving scenes that I've seen in an original Netflix series in quite some time.
And some of the quotes where there's a part where he's just like, I know what you're going to do. You're going to help people. But I know what I want you to do.
Run.
I want you to run. Oh, I was just like, who wrote that? That was just beautiful, man. But he knew. He's like, I know you. I know what you're going to do. I just thought it was and the fact that it didn't even, there wasn't restraint shown. He didn't have to restrain himself because he loved her so much.
Yeah.
There was no, I really want to, there was none of that. He just was like, yeah, I think I looked too deeply into it, but I was like, there is no restraint here. Everyone else has to restrain himself from, but her, he's just like, I'm not even tempted.
You know, I will give one little warning for people because I know a few people that would probably appreciate this. It's not too graphic, but if you have issues with animals being harmed, there are a few instances in this where you're going to be like, oh, thanks for the warning, Dan. I'll just say that.
Absolutely.
One in particular with this character named Joe Colley and his dog. I'll just say
Jesus,
that.
Dude.
That one kind of got me a little bit, but I can watch those kind of things. But if you have that kind of sensitivity, I just think it's fair to put it out there because this, like I said, this show's probably not going to be for everyone. But if you're looking for like a good way to start off the Halloween season, you're already into what Mike Flanagan does. Then this is going to be for you for sure. It's just I think this is for me, it was a brilliant way to start off the Halloween season. It's so fucking good.
No. And here's the thing now, Shudder, you better bring something.
Yeah. This would have been perfect for Shudder, actually.
Oh, perfect. Now, mind you, they do have Slasher, which is really good so far. But nothing is on the level of what this dude just accomplished. Nothing.
Hey, have you watched episode 1 of season 3 of Creepshow yet?
No, I'm waiting for at least 2 of them to drop.
Okay, yeah, I just found out that was out yesterday, so that's probably something that we'll talk about next week too.
Oh, no question, G. But I think that's it, man.
I think that's it too, sir. Good show, sir.
Wonderful show. People, well, I know. Let's all give Dan a round of applause. Welcome him back. He's feeling wonderful. I haven't heard any sort of breathing issues. That means he's on the total mend. And the next voice you're going to be hearing is the mended individual with a 3D printer. I love you guys. Peace.
Well, in all fairness, I have been muting my coughs for the most part, but yeah. Just letting you know, I'm on the mend, folks. Don't worry about me. I'm getting there slowly but surely. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's it for the Heroes of Noise episode 169. I want to thank Volk for letting us play their music and look forward to having them come on sometime. I want to thank y'all for sticking with us, even though we have not really been there for you in the last 7 weeks. But here we are again. We're going to go ahead and give it another try. It looks like, and again, I'm going to take the blame for this one. Fell short on Patreon, you guys. I'm sorry. It was just between being sick and busy. September wasn't happening. I feel like October is going to be the month. So I'll say this. You're going to get refunds October 1st for this month. And then we'll just go from there. I assure you, we're not trying to screw you over or anything. It's just making shit work. That's really it. That's it for the show. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Stick around. As soon as the intro or the outro is done, you're going to hear another song by Volk. And I think I'm going to play I Fed Animals. All right. So that'll be the next thing you hear. My name is Dan Ramirez. Be good to yourselves. Be good to the people around you. Peace.
Till the lion did not know what else to do. And I will rise from the weight of my truth. Baby, I fed animals waiting so long for you. You right back, leave you begging on your knees. But it's not my nature, I'd rather be fed than feed. Too much mess in the kitchen makes this girl go crazy. But you took so long to get back to me. So I'm feeding animals and it tastes like victory. Love, you've got nothing.